The southeast here in the United States. ABC's Jim Ryan says an insect with a nasty reputation and an even nastier sting may be lurking in your yard.
The Asian needle ant was first detected in the U.S. in the 1930s and has now spread to nearly 24 states, from Florida to Arkansas to New York. Its sting is extremely painful, potentially deadly if you're allergic.
The good news is they're not terribly aggressive like the fire ant.
Scott Baker of the Virginia Cooperative Extension.
But they do enact a very painful sting if people interact with them.
Experts say the needle ant doesn't go into homes, but stays outside. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Goodlettsville, we got a crash, right shoulder block, 65 southbound near mile marker 100. East Nashville, Ellington Parkway northbound at Spring Street. We've got traffic backup just because of some stop-and-go brake tapping, especially if you are the eastbound west and south loops downtown. Northbound 65 up to the south loop, eastbound 440 over to 24, northbound north loop up to 24. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. One and all, welcome in. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another day. Happy to have you with us this Thursday, May 7, 2026. Lots to get into, as you might expect. It's episode 1032 of our visits together on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and it should be a lively one. Hope you're able to stay until 7 o'clock, but if you just give us a mere 5 minutes, whatever time you're able, we are appreciative. Whatever platform you're listening or watching on, we thank you for that as well. We're on 99.7 FM from Alabama to Kentucky and all points in between. Hell, I think we get into like 5, maybe 6 congressional districts now. If I'm not mistaken, we get 9 now. We didn't have 9 before. We got 9. We got 8. I think we got 8. We got 5. We got 6 and 7 and 4. That's 6 of them, baby. How about that? So we'll obviously be talking about the past congressional district map that is now heading over to the governor's desk in consultation with the governor's office earlier this week, and we're hopeful that we'll have Governor Bill Lee on the program probably after he signs it. I wouldn't expect that we would have a conversation prior to signing the legislation.
Channel 4 says he already signed it.
Okay, so he's already done it?
Yeah.
So this, I was about to say, this isn't going to take long because they've got to get it in the hopper. It's my understanding, and we'll get confirmation from Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton at 3:35 today. Just had Cameron on last week. Man, things have changed in a week. We had Cameron on 1 week ago today to talk about the post-mortem of the General Assembly, and they've already had a special session before we could get him back on. And I know he was on with Mandis earlier this week, but we will speak to him about the legislation passed. We will speak to him about some of the shenanigans of his members in the House of Representatives and whether or not he believes that there will be discipline forthcoming. Perhaps that discipline will not come in the form of a censure by the House of Representatives, but more in the form of an arrest by the state troopers, because one representative laid hands on state troopers earlier today. That would be Representative Justin Pearson. Not to be outdone, the two Justins want to emote one another, out-dramatize one another. Justin Jones, not to be outdone by Justin Pearson, decided he was going to light a cardboard cutout of the Confederate flag on fire inside of the state capitol, something that, once again, should have gotten him arrested. These are representatives of the people. They are not better than the people. And the law states that you're not allowed to start a fire in the state capitol. I'm not allowed to start a fire in the state capitol. I don't understand why Justin Jones would be allowed to start a fire in the state capitol, except to say that arresting them would be giving them what they want, right? And I think that's what was in the mind of the state trooper who was involved in removing someone from the gallery that ultimately turned out to be the brother of Justin Pearson. And I don't mean brother like, hey, you're my brother, you're with me, you're down for the struggle. I mean like his actual brother. And apparently his actual brother couldn't shut his actual mouth. And because he couldn't shut his actual mouth, his actual brother got kicked out of the actual gallery of the House of Representatives because the actual rules apply to actually everybody. Well, Justin Pearson didn't like that very much, and he decided that he would go wave his House of Representatives pin around, and that got him nowhere. And so he started calling state troopers boy and MFer and the like, which is always lovely. And I'm sure that not only is your mama, but all of your constituents are so very proud of you, Justin Pearson, for your actions. After all, this is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what are you doing over there? So we got Ryan behind the glass, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. The voice of Ken Weaver, behind the glass in News Closet B. He has had a busy day. It's been kind of wild, Ken.
How about you, boys?
Hey, Ken.
I almost said you're as busy as a beaver, Ken.
Hey, Brother Jackson. What's going on, you boy?
Hey, Jackson.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
I'm doing swell.
Are you enjoying being in studio during Ryan's training period?
I am, and it's my Friday, your Thursday.
It is your Friday, my Thursday. We'll pick movies later on today in the 6 o'clock hour. You and I have to figure out the 3 nominees because we've changed up Matt Murphy movie Mayhem, and now the audience participates in the vote. We
will. Do you want to keep the 2 nominees from last week? The movies we were supposed to watch?
Pulp Fiction.
And the other guys.
And then we got to find one more.
We got to find one more.
I think, you know what?
Can I suggest one more?
I think Ken Weaver should suggest
I like that. And then Ken has to watch the movie, too.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, I like the recommendation idea, though. What do you think, Ken?
Do Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
Yes.
Okay, so Ken's suggestion period is now over, everybody. That was a fun one. We're very glad that Ken participated just this one time. And, Matt, you see that suggestion box right behind you?
I do.
You just go ahead and throw that one in there. Uh-huh. For reference, yes, it looks like a garbage can, but it's our suggestion box, and everybody is welcome to put their suggestions in there.
Jackson doesn't like entering rooms that he doesn't know what's going to be in the room before he goes in them. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Jackson does not like surprises. And
can I guess what Bubba Hotep's about?
Yes.
You certainly can.
I'm going to say it's a buddy comedy starring...
You're wrong, dude.
I was going to go David Spade and Chris Rock.
I have no idea what Bubba Hotep's about.
It's a Native American buddy comedy.
You have told me to watch Bubba Hotep.
I'm going to bring you boys the DVD I've got. It is a story about Elvis Presley and President John F. Kennedy, how they wound up in a nursing home in East Texas.
Actually, that sounds like a fun movie.
Sounds like an awesome movie.
Oh, it's incredible.
All right, so that's on the list. Pulp Fiction, the other guys, and Bubba Hotep will be up for voting in the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll figure out which one.
Can I get one in?
You can, but we've already got 3 there, Ryan, so it's going to be tough. You're going to have to boot one of the 3 off, so it has to be a pretty good suggestion. Go.
All right, no, you can do more than one on there. You can do 4 or 5 different choices on the poll.
All right, now the new guy is
we've
completely
established it's 3.
Give me the suggestion, though, Ryan.
Human Centipede.
All right, so it's just 3.
I've also seen that movie.
That one's a weird one.
It's horrible.
It's not good.
Something you talk about later. It's food for thought.
Why would...
Food.
I saw what you did there.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's one of those. Hey, guys, let's write a movie that we can totally gross every single person that ever watches it out. Oh, well, that's a good one.
Like Rosemary's Baby. It'll change your life. You watch it.
Rosemary Baby was a good movie. It was the I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's the devil.
That's a devil, Bobby Boucher.
The devil baby there.
Change your life.
Oh, Waterboy's got to be one. Have you ever seen Waterboy?
I've seen Waterboy a time or two. I think I could probably quote the entire movie. I'm going to be your daddy like that Tiger Woods. I don't know why that makes me giggle.
Mama said the reason the alligator got all them teeth because the reason the alligator's so angry because he got all them teeth.
And no toothbrush.
No toothbrush.
Oh,
Something's wrong with that boy's mama's medulla oblongata.
I love my mama very much, and now you know that. Anyway, y'all give us a call if you have any reaction to what's been going on throughout the course of the day. You're invited to be a part of the show at 615-737-9986. Steve wants to know, is the movie Mayhem thing about good movies or horrible movies?
Yes.
Yes, is the answer to that. Renee writes in and said, she showed me her boobies and I like them too. Renee,
You added the accent.
No, I knew what she was doing.
You got to have the accent.
You got to have the accent. I love the foosball's not the devil. It's for my Bobby. Man, I'll tell you, I've long said that Kathy Bates makes that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Adam Sandler, obviously, he owned it. But if she doesn't own that role, it falls apart.
Well, she's cutting those heads off the catfish, man.
Oh, man.
She was in that movie I gave you, I think one of the first movie Mayhems.
Kathy Bates?
Yeah, late shift about Leno and Letterman.
Yeah. She was. She played Leno's agent.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no! When she's no, I'm thinking of when she's in the background. She's gotten one over to football, and they're in the Bourbon Bowl, and Lynn Swan's trying to do the interview, and she's there. She's dancing in the background.
Yes.
Y'all's got to sober up. Root for my Bobby. Anyway. If you really loved The Waterboy, you'd get a Roy Orbison tattoo like the font. Oh, that's true. Oh, and Henry Winkler in that thing?
Yes.
Oh, man. And Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed.
Playing a bad guy? Oh, my good.
Do you know...
you sound like a big choo-choo train.
You know the quarterback in the movie?
Yes. On the Mud Dogs?
I don't think it was one of the opposing quarterbacks.
No,
Okay.
he was.
He was the Titans quarterback coach for like 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh, really? What was his name?
Pat O'Hara.
Okay.
Well, I'll be.
Well, the things you learn on the Matt Murphy Radio
Yes,
Show.
sir.
And Jackson brought the knowledge today. How about that?
I know a lot of useless things. That's one of them.
Well, I mean, and you know me, but we repeat ourselves. 17 after the hour, lots to get into. Obviously, the big news, really big news across the United States of America, but certainly big news in the state of Tennessee.
We have new congressional district maps. As they were voted into being earlier today by the House of Representatives and the Senate, already signed by the governor of the state of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee. That happened mighty quick. Cameron Sexton, the Speaker of the House, will be along at 3:35. Jack Johnson in the 5 o'clock hour, just to reflect on what has happened, why it happened, and what comes next. The expectation is clearly there will be a lawsuit filed. Jack Johnson indicated when we spoke to him last, the expectation was that they would reopen filing by Sunday. Well, and he might have said that on the program, and he might have told me that when we were scheduling our interview today. Either way, it's my understanding that one of the pieces of legislation that was passed by the General Assembly in the special session would open up qualifying or reopen qualifying for all comers for the new congressional districts by Sunday. And if that is the case, then that means that they got to get their lawsuit in there pretty quick. And I would expect that some form of an injunction or a stay will be filed, if not today, tomorrow. The Tennessee General Assembly passed this legislation under the new map. Memphis, which had been represented by a Democrat congressman since 1983, will no longer anchor a single congressional district seat. Instead, it will be divided amongst 3 separate congressmen. One would suggest that that's triple the representation, triple the fun. But that's not the way the Democrats are playing any of it at all. We heard a lot about black majority district. Friends, if you're thinking along the lines of black or white, then you are thinking unconstitutionally to begin with. We have grown beyond the concept of applying racial standards to congressional districts in this country, and all of us should want to grow beyond it. No one is suggesting that you have to vote any particular way. And, oh, by the way, Democrats have every opportunity to get to moderate their position on certain national issues, moderate their position on certain issues in the state of Tennessee, and compete. That's what this country is all about, competition. And I would suggest to my Democrat friends, instead of mewling and puking and whining about how unfair all of this is and how dare they do this to us and why did they do this and how can they do this and all of these other things, how about you get out into your individual districts and you compete in the arena of ideas and you explain to the people of the state of Tennessee how you will represent them better than the other candidate, regardless of what's behind your name. Now, you're going to have to overcome a few national issues that I think are on the forefront of people's minds here in the state of Tennessee. But I believe in you. So if you're Justin Pearson, stop whining. You come off like a crybaby. And get out and compete. Justin Jones, compete. Afton Bain, J.R. Clemens, Gloria Johnson. I think I've named all the Democrats in Tennessee. I'm close. Karen Camper. There's a few others. Do your job well, and compete in the arena of ideas. There's nothing to suggest that you can't turn these votes around for you. You can. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that dictates or indicates constitutionally that you are owed anything, any position of political power based on the color of your skin. For a long time in this country, we've overvalued skin color in a bad way. For a long time in this country, we did so in an evil way during the 1800s and into the 1900s. And it was a sad testimony. It did not make up all of America, but it was a major portion of America, and it was wrong. And we have repaired that sin. But you don't repair that sin by doing it again, which is what the Democrats seem to want to do. 21 after the hour. We'll take your calls. I have invited a number of Democrats on the radio show, to include the aforementioned Ms. Bain, to include J.R. Clemens. I didn't invite Heidi Campbell on. Maybe I should, although she continues to tell me no every time I do, because she insists that she's not coming back into a studio where I booted her out. Although I didn't really boot her out. I just told her she could leave if she wanted to not be called a liar. All of that to say, you are the most important voice on this radio show, and we'd love to hear from you. 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986 on the Super Text line or the phone lines. 22 after the hour, going to be a fun show, Thursday edition on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. For a while now, you've heard Matt Murphy, me, talking about King & Associates Insurance when it comes to automobile and homeowner rates. Well, I want to talk to you for a moment about life insurance, particularly for those of you with kids. If you have children, this message is for you. Life insurance, frankly, isn't about you. It's about them. And if you want to make sure that you are financially secure, even in the unlikely event that a tragedy falls on you, then the way to do that is King & Associates Insurance. I know that people don't like talking about it, and I get that because we don't like thinking about it. But they make it simple with no confusion, no pressure, just options that fit your family. It is something that you need to do. And when you call King & Associates Insurance, they're going to get you the best rates possible and make it as easy as possible as well. 615-329-8121. You can ask for Emery or any of the great teammates there. I spoke with Emery directly when we did our homeowners and our auto, and I will speak to him about life insurance as well. 329-8121 or tkinginsurance.com. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy. This Mother's Day, for the mother in your life, don't just mail it in. Let's do something really special. Let's get her something memorable, meaningful, and timeless. Show her how much she's appreciated with a beautiful piece of jewelry from Genesis Diamonds. Genesis Diamonds has created the best Mother's Day collection ever. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens a dazzling diamond bracelet. Maybe a pair of sparkling diamond earrings or stunning colored gemstone pendant. Each one hand-selected and designed to last not just this year, but for decades of birthdays, anniversaries, and days to come. Genesis has the gifts that can make a statement, and guys, you need to check it out. Go by Genesis either in Green Hills or Cool Springs. This Mother's Day, let's give her something truly special, and you don't have to break the bank to do it. They have the incredible half-price vault, a special collection of exquisite jewelry, all at an incredible 50% off. You heard me correctly, 50% off. Ask them about that half-price vault when you stop by. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills, and Cool Springs. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you.
Tennessee has a new congressional map. We'll tell you about that coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. If you have any questions about the maps, then we're happy to get to those. If you have any questions about these types of shenanigans, Ryan, give me a little audio video if you possibly can in there. Let me know when you've got that rolling because I just want everybody to see what we've all heard about in the halls of the state capitol. I haven't previewed this. There might be curses. I don't know. So let's have our finger. There's Justin Jones. And he's got a little. That's cute. So Justin Jones, that is from motherjones.com, that video, hat tip and credit where credit to due. That is Justin Jones burning an emblem of the Confederacy, the Confederate battle flag. Something that none of this had anything to do with, and it has nothing to do with the Confederacy, has nothing to do with racism, has nothing to do with the color of Justin's skin. But, Justin doesn't score any dramatic, emotional, performative points that way, so he's going to do it his way. That's Justin Jones lighting something on fire inside of the state capitol, which I think is a crime. And I would assume he needs to be prosecuted for. The other Justin Pearson, decided to lay hands on a police officer. We're going to talk more about that coming up in a moment. Steve is on in Murfreesboro to discuss redistricting. Hello, Steve.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Hey, my two primary issues with the redistricting and the way this went down is not the gerrymandering. Politicians going to gerrymander. That's just what they're going to do. Both sides of the aisle do it. I don't have an issue with that. I do have an issue with them repealing a law that prevented this because you're supposed to wait till after the census. I believe this is theory crafting now. This is my conspiracy theory, but I believe the real purpose of this, at least being nationally directed, because we know Trump tweeted and specifically asked the legislature to do this last week. But the rush is, I believe, to both create chaos in the elections this fall, to create as much muddy waters as they can. Also, traditionally, Republicans don't do as well in high voter turnout elections, so they're always do better when election turnout is lower. So this confusion, I don't think there's any doubt, combined with sort of the current political climate, is we're really gonna see really low turnout, I think, this fall. And then lastly, my second issue is that the real reason the politicians in our legislature did this is not to represent their districts. It's not to make it more conservative and all these values and all this stuff. It was because Trump told them to jump and they asked how high, sir. And if you have any doubts, go take a look at what's going on in Indiana. There were 7, I believe, Republicans that voted against redistricting up there, and Trump has spent millions primarying them and going against them. And so this is a self-preservation act.
Well, Steve, let me tackle the last piece first, and then we'll move back to the first piece. I understand that Donald Trump did not like the manner in which Indiana and the senators in Indiana acted in terms of redistricting, but the people voted. The people didn't like it either, obviously, right?
I understand that, but I think
wait, what do you mean, but? The people voted. That's how we work. That's how it operates. The people voted.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes the people vote against Trump. Sometimes they vote with Trump. Trump was obviously not pleased. Now, on the first piece, you say that.
Yeah, but when you vote against Obama in the Obama days, or you voted against Biden, you didn't have many millions of dollars poured into local races to throw out incumbents as a punishment, and I think that's what's different.
So you're saying the Democrat establishment don't go after Democrats who don't toe the party line?
That's not what I said at all. I said
that's exactly what you said.
That's exactly what you said.
Well, no, Trump. Wait. What money did Trump spend in Indiana?
I'm sorry, I'm driving down the road and I don't have the FEC files in front of me.
I mean, but so, you're saying Trump targeted with his own money?
He directed
whom?
PACs and super PACs and whatnot like that to do that. I mean, he openly does it. Just go read his tweets. So my issue is that
who's the head of the Republican Party?
I don't know right now. You're talking about the party itself?
I'm talking about who's the leader of the Republican Party.
Oh, the orange godhead himself, Donald Trump.
Right. So back to your first point on the redistricting, their purpose has been, and they've stated plainly that their purpose was to turn an 8-1 state into a 9-0 state to secure and keep the House of Representatives for Republicans, right?
Absolutely.
And Democrats have been
have an issue with that.
And Democrats have been doing the same thing in Democrat states in order to secure theirs. As far as the repeal of the law, I understand. I mean, and if enough voters don't care for the idea that this General Assembly appealed a law that was passed by a previous General Assembly, then they will have the opportunity to go to the polls and vote as well. But the final thought that I have on your call, and I appreciate the call very much. You say that this was done to sow the seeds of confusion and discord. You're 100% wrong, and I'll tell you why. Samuel Alito, the Supreme Court justice that wrote the majority opinion in Louisiana, which opened the door for states to do this, plainly stated that the decision on that court, on the concurring or majority opinion, was written and ready to go in January. The dissenting opinion on the court, the liberals on the court held their dissenting opinion, and they tried to hold it beyond the election cycle. This is all their fault.
Can I add one thing?
They held their dissenting opinion, and they tried to hold it beyond this election cycle, politicizing that legal opinion when they did not have to do so.
They wanted to wait till they take over in the fall, which I get. But, hey, let me add one thing. I believe it's Senator Adam Law. He had introduced legislation in this special session to require the state to inform people inform voters, registered voters, and you'd have to go look at the details. I'm sorry. I follow Adam. I know him.
No, it's good. We're out. Call me back if you've got some of those details, but I'm out of time. 4 minutes late. I held you 4 minutes over. But we'll continue the conversation coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, there's a new congressional map. Governor Lee has signed what the legislature approved today. The new map splits the black majority Memphis into 3 districts, which gives Republicans a chance at a 9th majority, which helps the GOP retain control of the U.S. House. Well, Memphis Democrat State Senator London Lamar afterward.
We're going to make sure we raise the funds to fight this. Yeah. We're going to make sure we energize the people to fight this. We're going to make sure we lock arms with all our Democratic activist organizations, advocacy organizations, nonprofits, and the people who feel downright offended and misused in this moment. It's our time.
So lawsuits are coming. We keep waiting for a deal between the U.S. and Iran to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or both, but that has not come yet. We are monitoring. Also, the state of Georgia is monitoring 2 people who were on the hantavirus cruise ship, worried about it spreading. The death toll from that outbreak on the ship is 3. Others who have contracted the virus are getting treatment. Those who are in the hospital are stable. We understand that there are also people in Arizona, California, and Virginia who are being monitored by health departments there because they were on that ship, too. And just in time for summer vacation planning, a new study finds a rare but dangerous brain-eating amoeba at some national parks.
Researchers working on a federal study found a rare but dangerous brain-eating amoeba that causes fatal brain infections in warm waters at several national parks in the West, including at Lake Mead and in Yellowstone, Grand Teton, and Olympic National Park. The study was published by the U.S. Geological Survey, and out of 185 samples at 40 sites, about a third had the amoeba in them. A person can become infected when contaminated water enters through their nose. It's extremely rare to get, but the death rate can be 98% for those who do get it. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. In addition to the usual stop-and-go brake tapping in the usual places, we have crashes. Goodlettsville, right shoulder block 65 southbound near mile marker 100. June Lake, right shoulder block 65 northbound past June Lake Boulevard in Williamson County. Over on the East Bank, Spring Street at North 1st Street. Ellington Parkway northbound at Spring Street. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. My name is Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about the fundamental foundation of your home, and I want to talk to you about how USS protects that foundation. If you've ever noticed cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or your driveway even sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. It's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling really matters. I trust United Structural Systems. I trust them so much, I brought them to my home when I bought it, and I said, I need you to check it out and make sure that everything's A-OK. They gave me the thumbs up, which is nice. They don't try to upsell you on anything. They're trying to be problem solvers, proactive, and offer you peace of mind. Have been doing so since 1994. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses the top-notch engineered systems designed for long-term performance and not ever temporary patches. What really stands out, their commitment to integrity. If you don't need repairs, they tell you that. Like I said, they told me that at my home. Go to USSTN.com, USSTN.com to find out more information about our friends at United Structural Systems. They give you peace of mind. You'll sleep better tonight with USS. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 5263 writes in and says, Senator Adam Lowe introduced a bill that would have required the state to inform voters of the details of the redistricting. It did not pass. Why wouldn't Republicans vote to do that? They want chaos and suppressed turnout. Thank you, Bell. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bell K is completing his duties from the midday show. And I had asked very tenderly, don't open my drink. What are you doing? What you're stealing? You know what? Don't you steal? And I'd asked young Jackson to get my cola, and he refused to do so.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
I asked, where is it? And then you turned your mic on and said, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It was in the fridge.
5263 says...
Oh, yeah. 50. Oh, you got it right. Good for you. We'll ask the Speaker of the House this question. He joins us on the Matt Murphy Show. It's been an incredible week in the state of Tennessee. Mr. Speaker, good afternoon. Welcome into the show. How are you, sir?
Hey, Matt. Good afternoon to you. Glad to be on.
Cameron, I know you since 2021 when I first came into the state. We've had many great conversations about great things that have happened in the state of Tennessee. There's been a lot of, dare I say, chaos in the body as the minority seems to have nothing but emotion and, frankly, a lack of decorum.
Give me a sense of where this week ranks up there. It was pretty wild.
No, this ranks up there, especially at the end, because what you had the whole House Democrat caucus for the most part, lock arms and down by the well, which is a violation, and then had the crowd outburst in the gallery, and they brought sound makers and threw them down on the floors and had to escort people out. I would say this special session is probably the most violent, aggressive protesters that we've had. In the videos of people, Pearson, video dealing with the highway patrol, Justin Jones burning a fake flag, walking out in the building, walking out of the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sheer volume of chaos and disrespect that the whole Democrat caucus showed was amazing.
Well, I want to speak on those two incidents specifically, but generally speaking, look, I understand that they're emotional and they're frustrated and they don't like it. Cameron, if we were in an alternate bizarro world and you were a minority leader in the General Assembly, I don't imagine you would like it very much. And I feel like you would use the tools at your disposal based on the rules of the body to express that displeasure. At least I would hope so. But this goes beyond the pale. Do you expect, and I applaud the state trooper that was involved in that altercation with Representative Pearson. I applaud the state trooper that was standing near Justin Jones when he set something on fire within the halls of the state capitol. Do you expect that there will be some sort of comeuppance or repercussions for some of these actions?
Well, that comes up to the highway patrol on those two things. The thing that I have to look at is for who of the Democrat caucus violated the House rules on the House floor, and we're going back and watching video of all that. There's plenty of video to watch, and then we will act accordingly on that, and we'll see what happens. But it's just there's a way to conduct yourselves and a way not to conduct yourselves. Look, they filed 37 amendments. We went through all of them. I can't help that they weren't timely, but they still had time to present the amendment. And then they were all voted down. They had time to debate the bills. They agreed to a time allotment so they got 47 minutes on the map. They got 10 minutes, 17 minutes on another bill. And so they had plenty of time to debate. They weren't shut out. They knew going in how much time they had, and they still weren't happy, and they still acted like this. And at the end, this is the new Democrat Party.
I feel like Republicans, leadership and rank and file both, have been very straightforward and very clear about the purpose here. And if my understanding is incorrect, please help me understand it a little better, Mr. Speaker. But it seems to me that based on the ruling that came out of Louisiana, it was the determination by the Republicans in the supermajority in the state of Tennessee that they had the ability to reconfigure to better represent the voters of the state by securing another Republican seat in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. Do I have this right?
There were a couple court cases by the Supreme Court that allowed the states to go back and look at it, and you've had blue states and red states to go back in midterm to redraw their maps, and that's a fact. And so we took the opportunity, because if blue states are doing that, then the red states need to do the same. We did it based on population and politics. We used no racial data. We used the 2020 census population data only, because that's the best information to determine where the population is in the state. And we took away all the other information that is in the census tract. We just looked at the population. And then we redrew the maps, and that's what other states have done. Hopefully that's what we did. And so I understand the Democrats are mad, but maybe they need to go to Virginia and California when they redo their maps and do the same type of protests, and if that's how they feel.
Have you responded and to any of the accusations that this is based on skin color? It's based on breaking up a majority black district. And would you mind, what would your response be? I've not heard any response that you've offered, Mr. Speaker, on that front. But that seemed to be the theme of the objections amongst the Democrats. It feels to me as if it's an old, tired play out of an old, tired playbook. What say you?
Look, I presented the bills in committee yesterday. Speaker Zachary, or the MAP bill, Speaker Zachary presented it in the well today. They asked the same questions. And look, the map was based on population and politics. There was no racial data involved in the creation of the map. We decided that the best way to create a 9th Republican district, which is our prerogative if we want to, was to divide Shelby County into 3 congressional districts, much like we did Davidson County not too long ago. That worked very successful. We accomplished that task, and we move on. You know, the Democrats, look, in the last 8 years, they have used the term that you used in every single instance when something happens they don't like. They want to go cry this. They want to play the victim. They want to do this. But the fact is, if you look in every blue state that's there, that those blue states are in chaos. They're not performing well. Their debt's running through the roof. Their taxes are high. People are moving out because of the policies they're doing, and that's what they want to bring here, and we won't let them, and I guess they're a little mad.
Some of the concerns that we've discussed on my radio show amongst the listening audience, amongst the citizens of the state of Tennessee, are really numbers-based. And you obviously have been at the forefront of, figuring out how these maps will go. Are you comfortable that the numbers are there to secure a 9-0 Republican majority in the congressional halls? In other words, I've been hearing that some of the districts are less than they were in terms of plus R. Can you speak to that?
Look, we feel comfortable that we have the chance to pick up the 9th district. As I told media all week, you still got to go to the polls and vote. And I would tell Republicans, you still got to go vote. It's not going to be given to you. So you need to get out and go vote. And look, we feel comfortable where we're at. The numbers are fine. We feel confident where those are, and we think we accomplished the task. But it really depends upon the Republicans wanting to turn out and go vote. And, in some of these states, Democrats have had a higher intensity to go vote. I know in Tennessee that won't happen come November. I know that we will get out and we'll go vote, and we'll make sure that we send 9 people to Washington. But I feel comfortable the numbers are where they are if our base will continue to go vote.
It seemed to me that some maybe moderate voices in the state were a little concerned that it was necessary to repeal a law that prevented you from doing this prior to doing this. I thought it was obviously proper and necessary that if you are going to do this, that you look at the laws as they exist, and if you need to change them, the current body can change what a previous body did. But that, in fact, did happen, right? There was a repeal of a law that was on the books from, I guess, the 1970s that prevented mid-census redistricting.
Yeah, there was, and so that was repealed. That was the first bill that was earlier than the other bills by the governor, so it's already taken effect before the other bills were passed. So that was repealed, and you can repeal a state law with 50 votes, 15 votes in the Senate, and that's what happened. Actually, it was more than that. But even if you want to go back, I would challenge the listeners to go back and look at the Democrat maps from back in the day where they split Shelby County 3 ways back in the day, where they created districts, one district that was a fourth congressional district that ran all the way from the Virginia border all the way to the Mississippi border in Tennessee. And they're wanting to complain about our maps, but I guess they have short-term memory loss about what they were doing back in the day.
No, we posted the last Democrat drawn map, and it is far more convoluted than they claim that this current map is, and obviously they're being a little bit of a group of hypocrites when they complain about it. So what comes next, Cameron? It was my understanding that we're reopening qualifying so as to not be unfair to those that perhaps wanted to run but couldn't because of the redrawn districts. Talk to us about what's next.
Yeah, there was another bill that allows those who currently qualify to grandfather in, so they would not have to requalify. And then if they're in another district, then they can petition the Secretary of State to allow them to run in that district. There's no need to make them have to go back and requalify again. But we also opened up a window to allow anyone else who, when they look at the new districts, if they would like to run, then there's a time frame on that they can collect their signatures and get those turned in to get qualified to run. So there is a short window for others to qualify if they would like to.
And what is the window of opportunity? Obviously, the opposition, one would think, is going to attempt to challenge this in court. I would think that you're being advised by your legal team as to what their options are. What do you expect that time frame will be if they so choose to try to challenge some of this in court?
Well, I mean, I think already crossed the ticker cane that Congressman Cohen said he was going to sue, which we knew all along there'd be lawsuits, and they'll probably sue in federal and state court both, and we'll see what happens. I feel very confident that we will win in the end, but you never know about a liberal judge in the beginning and what they will or won't do. You know, have you seen them do odd things at the federal level? I'm not saying anything about the Tennessee judges, but I feel very comfortable that we will win this map in the end.
Are you confident, are you as confident, slightly different question, that you will see victory prior to the August primary and the November general?
I mean, it's hard to say because I don't know what court they're going to go in. I don't know what judge that is. You don't know if it's a liberal activist judge or what it may be. So, you know, we'll see. We feel very comfortable about how we did it, what we did it, and we did it the right way. And they're going to sue, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know what the short-term future looks like, but long-term, I know that these maps will hold up.
And just to circle back to the original question about some of the rabble-rousing in the body, you're going to look at some of the political ramifications of what happened in the well in the House of Representatives. Obviously, your colleagues in the Senate will deal with some of the things that were going on over there. You'll deal with that, and then you think there's a separate track where probably the state troopers will look at what happened, what altercations went down, and there might be something criminal coming from that.
It could be, yeah. I mean, that's between the Highway Patrol and the commissioner, and obviously the General Funk there in Davidson County. I don't know about that. I know it's being looked at. I haven't heard anything else. But what I do know is what happened on the House floor. We're going to look at. There were obvious violations. I mean, they brought whistles on the floor. They brought and they were using them. They were bringing the air horns on the floor and using them. They were violating going to the well, and they were locked.
And it's your plan that whatever punishments are forthcoming. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You cut out for just a second, but it's your plan that whatever punishment might be forthcoming as determined by the rules, you can apply those punishments in the next general session.
We can apply them. We're still There's still things currently going on in this general section, a general assembly. Even though we're sine die, there's still things that can be done currently. And yes, next year they will be addressed as well, and we'll continue.
Well, Speaker, I know it's been a crazy week and a crazy day. Thank you for spending some time with the listening audience, explaining some of these things for us. We always appreciate that time, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Matt.
Take care. There's Cameron Sexton joining us as Speaker of the House, 56 after the hour. Any thoughts on that? 615-737-9986. We're hopeful to speak with Senator Brent Taylor, who has already announced that he is planning to run for Congressional District Number 9. Of course, Senator Brent Taylor, we've spoken to him many times about making Memphis matter. He was a big fan of the crime task force over there. And we can speak to you on the phone, 615-737-9986. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk about pain. I'm not talking about political pain like the Democrats are feeling right now. I'm talking about actual pain, physical pain, your back, your knees, your hips, your elbows. Do you hurt? Are you frustrated because you can't get rid of that pain? Are you popping pills and you're just tired of doing so? Have you gone and gotten shots for blockers and whatnot? And have you considered surgery? Have you considered the Wellness Institute of Nashville? My goodness, I would encourage you to do that. Let me tell you something. I don't know where I would be without spinal decompression technology. I can tell you that my back was hurting constantly about 5 years ago. I mean, it was a regular
issue to get out of bed in the morning and stretch it out just so I could get around. I got through the spinal decompression process. The Wellness Institute of Nashville has it, and it's so good. And right now, $33 off each visit. It is an epic spinal special. Plus, friends, they've got this brand new technology that is Medical Bay One that will knock your socks off. Medical Bay One is a futuristic healing machine that massages your body while doing laser treatment, while stimulating your stem cells, while offering tissue regeneration, and using photons for wavelength and ultimate healing. I mean, friends, that's like something out of Star Trek, and it's right here in Nashville, Tennessee at the Wellness Institute. Go to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, the new congressional map splitting Memphis into 3 districts is official. Republicans say it gives them a chance for a 9th majority to help the GOP retain control of the U.S. House. Channel 4's Amber Giant was outside the state capitol afterward with a bunch of protesters.
This crowd that's here behind me as this rally is ongoing, you can see this group. Imagine like 2 times, 3 times as much inside the Capitol. I mean, they had to stop letting people inside because it was just shoulder to shoulder with the crowds there. And people just watching every step of this process on the monitors inside the building.
Yeah, inside the state capitol, Nashville Democrat State Rep Justin Jones lit a picture of the Confederate flag on fire. Then Memphis Democrat State Rep Justin Pearson got in the face of a white state trooper who was arresting Jones' brother who was protesting. And here's how that went down.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You stupid mother.
Well, the trooper didn't react, and Jones' brother was arrested without incident. We keep waiting for a deal President Trump says Iran wants to make to end the war. Here's Selena Wang.
Even as President Trump is projecting a lot of optimism about the possibility of the 2 sides reaching a deal, the president is still trying to convince Iran to come to the table. The president is warning that if Iran doesn't agree to these terms, that the U.S. will start bombing again, but at a higher level, at a higher intensity than before.
Yeah, gasoline prices aren't going to come down anytime soon, no matter what happens. Right now, Gas Buddy putting the average in Middle Tennessee at $4.25 a gallon. And officials with the World Health Organization say the latest outbreak of the hantavirus on board that cruise ship isn't COVID.
I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far.
Yeah, 3 people died. Officials say that those who are in the hospital are stable. Right now, Georgia's health department is monitoring 2 people who had been on that ship. Same goes for at least 1 person each in Arizona, California, and Virginia. And a man who carried out a firebomb attack last June on a pro-Israeli crowd in Boulder, Colorado, has pleaded guilty to a long list of charges. He could get life in prison when sentenced.
Mohammed Salman, an Egyptian national who prosecutors say has been living in the U.S. illegally, sat in court and pleaded guilty to all 101 state charges against him, including murder. A dozen people were injured in the firebombing attack, and an 82-year-old woman later died from her injuries. He threw Molotov cocktails at a group of marchers on Boulder's Pearl Street Mall who were demonstrating for the release of Israeli hostages last year. Investigators say Solomon planned the attack and had a desire to, quote, kill all Zionist people. Separately, he's facing federal charges. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes the Gulch, 40 eastbound before Demumbrian Street. Gordonsville in Wilson County, right shoulder block, 40 westbound past Alexandria. In Madison, 65 northbound past Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Here we are. Here we go. Matt Murphy Radio Show, hour number 2. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I know that Senator Jack Johnson's going to swing by in the 5 o'clock hour. That's Senator Jack Johnson in the 5 o'clock hour. We've already spoken with the Speaker of the House. That is Cameron Sexton. He was with us just moments ago discussing the passed legislation now signed by the governor of the state of Tennessee regarding congressional redistricting. Mid-year redistricting, had to repeal a law from the 1970s, had to, move a few things around, but they got it done. Speaking of moving a few things around, Ryan he is positioned in the control chair. He's making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. As usual, Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B. No window in News Closet B. Sad but true. And I was looking for Jackson. And Jackson is now.
He's got his crown on.
You got eyeballs on Jackson for the Talk Television folks?
He specifically told me to refrain from that. However, if you want.
Yeah, I want it.
Yeah, go for it.
I want some of that because. So, Jackson, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Just hanging out.
You getting some work done today?
No, why do you ask?
I'm just, throwing it down there. You look like you look like a working man, Jackson.
Oh, are you talking about the hat?
I'm talking about the hard hat, Jackson.
Well, in light of recent Ninkampoop conspiracies, this is the Ninkampoops version of a tinfoil hat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What conspiracies would you be referring to, Jackson? The ones that you created?
You and Chris Hand's inside job.
There's no Murphy Hand job going on. I don't know what you're talking about.
I heard you guys scheming after your podcast today.
I don't know what do you mean scheming?
Scheming on Mostly Peaceful.
I am going to be in Murfreesboro tomorrow. We need to get the trophy back from Hand.
Well, here's the thing. I will not be here tomorrow.
I know that.
And so I believe a conspiracy is afoot. And I will not let Murphy's space lasers.
If y'all aren't watching on Talk TV, just please do me a favor later on tonight. Go back and
That was weird.
Can I get the finger again? What is?
I'm using my mind control.
Are you? A little mind meld action.
Today is the all for one,
Let's
one
go.
for all Ninkampoops.
Yeah.
Because you won Monday.
I did.
I won Tuesday.
I
believe Ken Weaver won yesterday.
That is correct, Ken. You won. You were the big winner yesterday.
And with me being out tomorrow, today we crown the champion.
We will crown the champion.
I'm already wearing my hat.
At 5:35 this afternoon, and that trophy gets in my truck tomorrow afternoon, and who knows where it goes from there. Who knows?
Ken, we're never seeing that trophy again.
Maybe not. I don't know. Well, you look great. You look great. You look like you're ready to tell some guys to dig holes or something.
How are you going to get the trophy through customs to Venezuela?
You look like, you know what you look like right now? You look like the reason that Nashville was without power during the winter storm for 3 weeks.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We had workers staged. We had about half of what MTE had. There we go. But we're on it.
We just ordered poles off of Temu.
Yeah, it's got a.
Jackson, you look like the reason that Nashville's in debt. You do. You do. You look like a traffic jam waiting to happen. Oh, you're waving them on through? Oh, got to stop. Slow down. It's a work zone. You look good. 615-737-9986. Okay, if you're just getting in your automobiles, just getting off of work and wondering, well, I wonder what happened in the state legislative special session today. Well, there was a lot of chaos going on. This happened, a little audio video here, if you don't mind, Ryan. This happened earlier today as Representative Justin Pearson apparently didn't like the fact that his brother, who was up in the gallery, couldn't do what the hell his brother wanted to do. And so Justin Pearson jumped up in the gallery to try to stop the arrest that was ongoing of his brother, who refused orders to be quiet and, not even sit down. All you have to do is not make noise in the gallery, and you're allowed to stay in the gallery. Apparently, Pearson's brother couldn't manage to do that. And so Representative Justin Pearson gets into a little bit of a heated conversation and confrontation with the Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers during the special session. And Justin, I want you, if you're watching on Talk TV, the most important aspect of this, in my opinion, look at the eyes of Justin Pearson. And I understand those of you on radio will not be able to see it, but I will do my best to describe it. This man has hatred in his eyes and hatred in his soul. And I want you to look at what I
What's wrong with you?
Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Calls the state trooper boy. State trooper's got his hands up, trying to let him pass. They eventually, I understand, Ken, am I correct that they arrested the brother of Pearson?
Yes.
For refusing to be quiet and refusing lawful orders within the gallery?
I don't know the reason, but yeah, he was arrested.
This look on Pearson's face is the look of hatred. That is not normal. And what he said to the trooper, he called him boy, screamed it in his face, got right up in his face, maybe 8 inches from the state trooper, right up to the bill of his cap. The afro on Pearson's head and the bill of the trooper's cap may have touched, as a matter of fact. And he screamed at him, boy, and then said, what the bleep is wrong with you? Repeated it, what the bleep is wrong with you? Obviously, and bumped into the state trooper, which is the most egregious aspect of all of this in terms of the possibility of filing charges against Representative Justin Pearson. I doubt that charges will be filed, because that's ultimately what the guy wants.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Ted. You stupid mother.
One more time.
What? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Ted.
And you hear the lady in the background referring to the police officer as a pig, because that's what Democrats think of police. Those state troopers are there to maintain decorum and to protect Justin Pearson. That state trooper would stand in front of an assailant and protect Justin Pearson, the guy that just called him boy. Now, obviously, it goes without saying what the reaction would be had this been, I don't know, Scott Sapicki or William Lamberth or Johnny Garrett or Jody Barrett or Cameron Sexton or any white legislator, any representative in the halls of the General Assembly, white, who referred to a black state trooper as boy, would eventually have to resign their position. And y'all know I'm telling you the truth. But, rules are for thee and not for me, and Justin Pearson gets away with all of these things and will continue to escalate this type of nonsense. And here's the reality of why he is so emotional. He cannot maintain decorum. He cannot maintain his emotions because Justin Pearson has a pretty good grift going on. Justin Pearson does not have to be reasonable to the people that he
his colleagues in the General Assembly. He does not act in a reasonable fashion. As a matter of fact, I have his floor speech that I want to play. I want to play a little bit of his floor speech coming up in just a moment, in which he refers to basically everyone voting in favor of this as racist people. And he refers to Donald Trump as a white supremacist. But behind that veneer and behind the hatred in those eyes is fear, because he's losing his grift. Justin Pearson thought that he could dispatch of Steve Cohen, an aging white liberal in a majority black district, and he thought that he could take over that district and lean on the idea that he is in the minority in the state of Tennessee for the rest of his political life. And all of that is slipping away from him, because it's all about him. Not about you. It's not about the people. It's not about his constituency. It's about him. And he demonstrated that in the gallery in the State House today. 615-737-9986. Claudia is next out of Gallatin. Claudia, thank you for your call. By the way, before Claudia starts, I would note that if you're wondering what district you're in, I have an overlay map that I can help you with. And there are certain areas that I'm not going to be sure of. But if you're curious about where your new district is, because let me tell you, a lot of this is, a lot of people are freaking out because of the shakeup. I'll give you an example. I live in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. It's roughly an hour away from Nashville. Yes, I drive that distance every day. Yes, gasoline is $4.29 a gallon. Yes, I'm annoyed by it. In Mount Pleasant, we remain in District 5. In Columbia, for the most part, they are now in District number 9. The city of Columbia is District 9. That district is also, it swings down across the southern portion of the state along the border between Tennessee, Alabama, and then continues on the border between Tennessee and Mississippi. And it gets very, very close to downtown Memphis. 5 gets into Mount Pleasant and kind of circles around into Franklin and Spring Hill and then shoots up to the west of Nashville and on up that corridor. 4 has changed fairly dramatically into Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're curious, like, for example, our good friend Cameron Smith, we weren't sure where he was. I'm in 5. He's in 9. And he lives to the east of me. But 9 has changed most dramatically. And if you're curious about where you are now, I think I can help you out with that. Claudia is next up. Claudia, thank you for your call. How are you?
I'm not doing too good. I heard the justice, what they are doing there at the Capitol, and it just burns me up. And it really burns me up that he calls Trump a white supremacist. Trump doesn't think he's above the law. Those justices think they are above the law. And it just, makes me so angry. And not only did he call that policeman a boy, he called him that MF word.
He did. That's true. It's crazy. There's a lot of emotion, but Claudia, all they have is emotion, right? All they don't have any political power because the people of the state of Tennessee, they think differently. They don't think like Democrats. The Democrats represent what? A third of the state. Republicans, 2/3 of the state. Republicans have won a supermajority in both houses of the General Assembly, and this is just liberal Democrats lashing out because they have no other political power to enact any sort of change. The majority has spoken, and that's the way that a representative republic works, and they don't seem to like it very much. Claudia, thank you so much for your telephone call. I so appreciate you, and I've got to run. I'll get to Jim and others in just a moment, 22 after the hour, 615-737-9986. It's The Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about the Glock store. The Glock store's open house is on the way, friends. I'm very excited about this. It's happening at the end of the month. May 30th is the date. We want you to be there. I know I'll be there. Dan Mandis will be there. Chris Hand will be there. But more importantly,
the giveaways, my goodness. Last year, I thought, man, we've topped it. You can't get any better than this. $25,000 worth of giveaways in 4 hours, talking Red Dot Optics and so much more, plus Glocks. But this year, I'm being told that they've got even more in store for you. Now, not only will they have food trucks, not only will they have deliciousness in terms of your ability to have some lunch out at the Glock store, they're going to have raffles. I want to say on the quarter hour, but they have enough giveaways in 4 hours of time where they're planning giving away $50,000 worth of merchandise. You heard me correctly. In 4 hours. You've got to be there to win. You've got to have that raffle ticket to win, and you need to get there early at the one and only Glock store. This is coming up on May 30th. Go early and scout them out. Check them out. If you want to look around the place, if you've never been, it's a beautiful facility located on Airlane Drive, right off of Elm Hill Pike. Elm Hill Pike is right off of Bradley Parkway, and Bradley Parkway is convenient to anywhere. It's the one and only Glock store, online at glockstore.com or shoot270.com.
All right, got a new congressional map in Tennessee, and officials with the World Health Organization trying to calm everybody down about this hantavirus outbreak on that cruise ship. All this and more comes at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is on the way. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That's the voice of Ken Weaver. He's back in News Closet B. My name is Matt Murphy. We host a gathering from 3 until 7. We call it the Matt Murphy Radio Show. You can't do that to me, man. Jackson's also here wearing his hard hat and his cute headphones, and he's just looking. He just looks like a little construction worker. Looks like he's ready to get off of lunch and get back to it.
He's back on cam, too.
He looks good. I'm just curious what Amtrak station you guys stole that hat from?
I don't know, and I don't want to ask too many questions.
What is it? You lost your headphones there.
I'm aware. Let's just leave them there.
Turn to the left. Oh, it says think safety on that side. That's nice. And it says think safe. Oh, so you're thinking safety.
Might have been a safety officer.
You've got a big old wad of schmutz on the bill of that cap there, buddy.
Brother Jackson, did you steal that thing from where they're building that Music City tunnel?
I don't know where this came from. It appeared in the office today, and I decided I was going to wear it.
It just appeared, did it?
Mm-hmm. I seen some guy with that on headed to the roof.
Poor fellow doesn't have a lid now because of Jax. He's probably looking for his lid up there.
Sorry, Joseph.
Well, you look great.
Thanks, buddy.
You're doing better than Antonio Parkinson. Have you seen this, Weaver?
No.
WSMV Channel 4 has this story. It just came out moments ago. Tennessee State Representative, and I'm gonna pull the audio from this, and I'll get it up, audio and video for you. Tennessee State Representative Antonio Parker is now calling on Memphis to secede from the state of Tennessee.
All right.
Okie dokie. Following a redrawn district map that will ensure, almost ensure. I mean, nothing is certain. This is what I want y'all to know. Everyone's got this new map out. Look, the new map's all red. We got elections coming up. Hey, Democrats, go and, like I said at the beginning of the show, compete in the arena of ideas. Convince individuals that what the Republicans did was wrong and what you are doing is right, and your ideas are superior to their ideas, and maybe you'll win one of these district seats. House and Senate obviously expeditiously passed the new congressional district map that split Memphis into 3 separate districts. Representative Parkinson said this is no longer simply about maps. It's about whether Memphis, a majority black economic engine for this state, is expected to continue contributing billions in tax revenue, culture, labor, and commerce while being systemically stripped of political power.
And last time I checked, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Missouri have state income tax.
Well, I mean, I guess.
So have at it.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure all those Memphians would want to pay some state income taxes.
It reminds me of the Brer Rabbit story about being thrown in the briar patch, right? I mean, don't throw me in the briar patch. Protesters lined the halls of the Tennessee state capitol. Lawmakers pushed the bill through. If this legislature no longer believes the people of Memphis deserve the ability to choose a representative who reflects their community, then at least have the courage to say it plainly. Oh, they did. Do not hide behind maps and procedure. Let Memphis secede from the state of Tennessee. And I'm dead serious. Let my people go. Okay, where you going, man?
That's ready to say,
Who wants Memphis? Memphis for sale. Name your price. I mean, who wants Memphis? Does Arkansas want Memphis? Does Mississippi want Memphis?
What about a 51st state?
Oh, they'd love that. They get some senators out of Memphis that way. Memphis, Canada's the 51st state. Memphis would be the 52nd. Yeah, I'm all about it. Let's go. 31. I mean, don't tempt me with a good time, Antonio. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to be a part of the show. We'll get back to your calls momentarily. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the news.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, there is officially a new congressional map. Democrats vowing lawsuits to stop Memphis from being split into 3 districts that could give Republicans a 9th majority to help the GOP stay in control of the U.S. House. Here's Channel 4's Diana Rocco.
As House Bill 7003 passes the House and then the Senate, which was the final piece of this legislation, the redrawn map portion, there is major protest among members from the floor and protesters in the balcony as noisemakers are set off throughout the building, and the state police had to clear the room.
Yeah, Channel 4 says Speaker Cameron Sexton is looking into sanctioning some of the members for those outbursts in the Capitol. Officials with the World Health Organization say the outbreak of hantavirus on board that cruise ship isn't like the COVID pandemic.
I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far.
Yeah, 3 people have died. Officials say those who are in the hospital are stable. Meanwhile, Georgia, Virginia, and 3 other states are monitoring former passengers as a precaution. We're still waiting for a deal between the U.S. and Iran to end the war or open the Strait of Hormuz, or both. Meanwhile,
the Department of Justice is investigating a series of suspiciously timed trades in the oil market, just ahead of major announcements by President Donald Trump and the top Iranian official about the war in Iran, sources told ABC News. The DOJ, along with the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, is probing at least 4 of these trades, where traders made a total of more than $2.6 billion, betting that oil prices would drop right before they did. The DOJ and CFTC have not commented on the trades. Peter Haralambous, ABC News, New York.
Right now, Gas Buddy, by the way, putting the average per gallon in Middle Tennessee at $4.25. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes. Gordonsville in Wilson County, right shoulder block, 40 westbound past Alexandria. Downtown split, going to go westbound right there at exit 211. In Madison, 65 northbound past Old Hickory Boulevard. Elm Hill Pike at Spence Lane. Harding Place at Linbar Drive. In Williamson County, 65 northbound past June Lake Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. I want to stress to you that there is a location near you if you are in need of assistance, gentlemen. If you're feeling low energy, low motivation, low drive, don't want to go to the gym, don't want to do the work outside in the yard or whatever it might be, or if this has now manifested itself in the bedroom, if you cannot perform in the same fashion as you have previously been able, it's time to get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Now, they have a Clarksville location, and it is one of their newest locations, and they want to see you in Clarksville. They opened Clarksville for the express purpose of making sure that if you live north of Nashville, you've got another option. They understand that it's trouble getting through Nashville to their Cool Springs location or even to the Midtown location, which are convenient to some, but not for everybody. With the Clarksville location, let me tell you, it is all about convenience for you, and you get the same quality of service at each location as you do at any other location. They are the OG, the Tennessee Men's Clinic. They are the original men's health-centric center in Middle Tennessee, and Evan and his team want to see you. Give them a call, and you'll go in for $99 and get a complete examination, consultation, and your first treatment if medically necessary and appropriate. Give them a call at 208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Senator Brent Taylor has already announced that he is running for Congress in Congressional District number 9. He has already been endorsed by Senator Marsha Blackburn and Senator Bill Hagerty, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get that audio from Antonio Parkinson coming up in just a few moments. I was trying to find it on the news. It was WSMV Channel 4. And they've got the transcript, but I could not find the audio there. But, Representative Parkinson said this is no longer about maps. This is about whether Memphis, a majority black economic engine for the state, is expected to continue contributing billions in tax revenue, culture, labor, and commerce while being systematically stripped of political power. And I don't understand how they've been stripped of political power any further than their erosion of political power that has already existed previous to now, based on the voting population, voting them out of office and putting the Democrats in a super minority status in the General Assembly. Is that the same Claudia? Did she have something else to say? Or is that a new Claudia?
No, she got cut off earlier. It's the same one. What she said.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know she got cut off because I'm the one that did the cutting off. Claudia, hello. Yeah, you had something else. You had something else. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to prematurely cut off the conversation. I had to get to the news, but you're back on.
Oh, okay. No, I don't even know if I can say this on the radio. I was at the election on the 5th, volunteering in Westmoreland. There were no Democrats that even qualified to be on any of the ballots. I mean, there was not one. People were upset when they came in to vote, and there wasn't any. And they thought we were doing something. And I said, no, I'll show you the ballot. So I went over and got it, and I said, look, no names, none.
Where was this again, Claudia?
Westmoreland.
And this was a primary election?
Yes.
And so did you have Democrat ballots with nobody on them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
yes,
if they asked for a Democrat ballot, then they were given a Democrat ballot, and there was nobody to vote for. They could, they could write in a candidate if they wanted.
Yes, they could have wrote in a candidate.
You know,
they thought that we were doing something, and it's like, no, I'll show you the ballot right over here.
A similar thing happened in Davidson County in that in these local elections, I don't believe there was a Republican that qualified to be on the Republican Party primary ballot either. So.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've volunteered at a lot of the elections. You know, they need all the help they can get, but I've never seen that happen. So to me, that was wild.
Hey, does your rooster have a name, Claudia?
The biggest one is Handsome. I have 4 big roosters.
Uh-huh.
Handsome, we have a little rooster. I have 2 barred rocks. Handsome is the biggest, and then there's a little, and the little one is mean. Handsome guards me from the little one.
Oh.
He will stay close to me, and he will get in between. If the little one comes, he'll get in between us, and of course the little one doesn't want to have anything to do with him, so he'll run off.
Claudia, the same thing that happens to me every day. The big one, Jackson, protects me from the little one, Ken Weaver. Every afternoon, the little one, Ken Weaver's coming after me, and the big one, Jackson, he acts as a protector for me.
Ken chases him with a brick.
That's nice to have those protectors, isn't it?
It's nice to have that. Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, no, it is not unusual. And thank you, Claudia, for the call. I appreciate you. You pet those.
Okay.
You hug those chickens or whatever you do with them. Okay.
Yeah, they're just free range.
Oh,
they go in the pen at night.
That's nice. You get a lot of eggs?
Yes, we do.
Oh, I bet you do.
Oh,
all right,
my.
I'm coming up to. I don't know what. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I wasn't being that way with her. I was just asking if she got eggs
from a rooster.
No, she has chickens too. There, Ryan. When you have roosters, you're gonna have some chickens too, and you get some eggs from the roosters. Based on, well, anyway.
No comment.
No comment either. No, you don't get. If you're getting eggs from your roosters, then
Well, you might want to talk to the rooster about how the rooster is identifying. I mean, maybe that's...
Could be a Democrat rooster.
Could be a Democrat rooster, sure. Jim is next in Atlanta. Hey, Jim.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, Jim. I hope you are.
Hey, I've been listening to you for a couple of years. I drive a truck up here and back every day, back and forth from Georgia to Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
I heard the tail end of that conversation. The guy that disrespected that police officer, was he running for an office or something?
Well, he serves in the State House. He's a State House representative.
I got a question about this. How could, when that guy's afro touched his hat, wasn't that kind of like a stop? I think that would be he touching him. Why didn't that cop just throw him on the ground and rough him up a little bit and arrest him because they're afraid it would have caused a riot or something?
The trooper, I believe, based on the video that I saw, could have, if he had wanted to, arrested Justin Pearson for assaulting a police officer or interfering with his duty to arrest Justin Pearson's brother. But this officer, in the totality of the circumstances, made the decision not to make the arrest at that time. But I think he could have,
okay.
Yes. I think he could have.
I don't know how I could have withheld not knocking his teeth down his throat or something.
Well, I mean, it is unbelievable, but obviously that's what Justin Pearson wanted to happen.
But if we did that, if a conservative did that to a Democrat, they throw us under the jail.
Yes.
We don't have freedom of speech to do that. If we did that to any Democrat, we'd be it would be on every news station, Democratic news. And we would be, you know what I'm saying? It's just unbelievable how they get away with this kind of stuff.
Well, the Democrats get away with a lot of things that I don't think that, sadly, they use, I believe that Justin Pearson, and thank you, Jim, for the call. Justin Pearson does use the color of his skin as a political bludgeon, meaning he does things and dares others to respond to the things that he does, because if you respond in kind, you will be accused of racism. And that, sadly, is his known modus operandi. The officer in this case was charged with, for those that don't know the backstory, and I can play the video for you again if you so desire, Justin Pearson's brother was apparently in the gallery. Well, not apparently. Justin Pearson's brother was in the gallery. Justin Pearson's brother was making a ruckus and would not be quiet. If you attend a session of the House of Representatives, you're allowed. We played this clip. We thought it was very funny. Ken Weaver and I played the clip of William Lamberth describing the rules to the gallery. And in describing the rules, he said, you can hold up signs if you want. You can hold up cell phones if you want. The thing that you have to do is be quiet. As long as you're quiet, you can do whatever else you want. And as he's saying this, he looks up and he's getting flipped off by the gallery. He's like, ma'am, you can flip me the bird if you want to flip me the bird. That's fine. Just do it quietly. That's the rule. I've been to the gallery on multiple occasions. And the rules apply to everyone, no matter if your brother's a member of the House of Representatives, or if you're best buddies with Cameron Sexton, the Speaker of the House, or if you're good friends with Karen Camper or J.R. Clemens on the Democrat side of things. Does not matter. And apparently Pearson's brother couldn't keep his mouth shut, and so he was being escorted from the gallery. He refused the escort. Justin Pearson got wind of it and went up into the gallery to try to, quote-unquote, protect his brother. I don't know what he thought. I suppose that Pearson was going to use the old "don't you know who I am" technique, meaning I'm a sitting representative. Look at my lapel pin. You have to do what I tell you to do. And the trooper's like, yeah, and you hear the audio of the altercation where someone in the altercation says, let Representative Pearson or let Justin Pearson go. I'm going to share it with you one more time. Audio, video up and running. Justin Pearson, just once more, this is from WKRN. Here's the confrontation that they got into with the police officer. Now, it is the gallery's not a very large space. And so it's a little crowded, and Pearson is rubbing up against the officer and appears to push back on the officer during this altercation. He pushed off so the officer is against him and is kind of touching him lightly on his shoulder, and Pearson pushes back off of the officer, and that's when he lashes out and screams, "Boy," and then
he asks him, what the bleep is wrong with you? And you hear him say, let Pearson go, let Representative Pearson go.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You stupid mother.
What the bleep is wrong with you? What the bleep is wrong with you? A woman in the background says pig. And then he calls him a stupid mother bleeper. Hope your mama isn't hearing how you talking there, Justin. I applaud that trooper based on what Pearson said and did to him. And I've looked at the video a couple of times. It looks as if he gets close enough in his face when he yells boy that there's some spittle that hits the trooper. And I don't think that was intentional, but it happened. I applaud the trooper, whomever he was, for not overreacting. I do believe that he was within his right to do his duty and arrest Pearson right there on the spot. It would have escalated the situation in a way that, I mean, almost impossible to imagine what would have happened after that. I do think that there will be two tracks here. Number one, the Tennessee Highway Patrol will determine whether or not there are arrestable offenses between Justin Pearson pushing up against an officer and saying nasty things. I mean, he can say, I suppose, what he wants to say, but you cannot rough up an officer. You can't brush up against an officer. You can't get that close to him. That is an arrestable offense. Secondarily, the other Justin, not to be outdone, decided he wanted to light something on fire in the halls of the state capitol. One would think that that's against the rules and that you or I would have been arrested immediately had we chose to do so. Sadly, Justin Jones was not. One wonders if there will be criminal charges pressed against either of those two individuals. Here's the deal, though. That goes before the local DA. The local DA is Glenn Funk. I say it very emphatically and purposefully because I've said it wrong in the past. Got to say Funk. And Glenn Funk's not doing anything with this. He won't prosecute a thing. He's in bed with these boys. From a political standpoint, I expect that the Democrats will get censured in some way because they lost their minds is what they did. And I've been hearing from any number of representatives who were in the body at the time, and they said that they just lost all sense of decorum. They stormed to the front of the well. They were out of order. They were, chanting and singing songs and generally speaking, making asses of themselves and acting like children because, well, they are. And they are. 52 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. My name is Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about the air conditioning inside of your home. How you doing? Is it going okay? I mean, I'm sure you've turned it on from time to time. I mean, probably not over the last couple of days because it's been downright cool, but it's that time of year where it's cool one evening and it's warm the next afternoon, and it can be hard to find someone that you can trust to handle your heater and your air conditioner simultaneously. That person, however, is Jeff Eddy. Just got real easy. Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. If you're trying to make a decision as to whether to repair or replace your system, the only person that I would advise you to call is Jeff Eddy. His crew will walk you through every option and scenario. They've done this for me. It's kind of cool because I've talked about this scenario, this very thing, for a long time. And now that I own a home, friends, I lived it. We had to repair my unit. They got me through the ice storm by repairing the unit, but they knew that it was going to be short-lived, and it was. They go back, and they figure out exactly what's going on, and sadly, it was a terminal issue with regard to my heater body on my heater, which means that I needed a new unit. But I was comfortable and confident that it was the right thing to do because I trust Jeff Eddy as long as the day is. Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling online at efficienthvac.net. Efficienthvac.net. Call them 615-784-4424, 784-4424.
Tennessee's new congressional map is official, and there is already a lawsuit filed. We'll tell you about it at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We also already have a candidate for Congressional District Number 9. That candidate has already been endorsed by Senator Bill Hagerty and Senator Marsha Blackburn. That candidate has also already raised $1 million in his campaign fund for Congress in the Congressional District Number 9. Now, it's my understanding that all of that money is his, but he placed that money into a campaign fund already today. His name is Senator Brent Taylor. We're trying to get a hold of Brent Taylor. We've had him on the show many times talking about making Memphis matter and other matters involving the crime task force and cleaning up the streets of Memphis as best they could. And now Senator Brent Taylor wants to represent that district and much of the other portions of the state of Tennessee, as we have described. That District Number 9 will run along the southern portion of the border between Mississippi and Tennessee, the border between Alabama and Tennessee, and 9 will then snake up. 9 will be Columbia's district. So I suppose Chaz Mulder has a decision to make, whether or not he wants to run against Senator Brent Taylor or not. Chaz Mulder is none too happy, coming out and saying, history will not be kind to this moment. I've invited Chaz on the show. History will not be kind to this moment. When our kids and grandkids ask what happened in 2026, we'll have to tell them the state legislature changed the rules of the game to silence your voice and your vote because Andy Ogles was losing his election. That's not. Oh, Chaz. Oh, Chaz. That's
Shut
funny.
up.
That is funny. We will tell them that why. There's more to this. I can't. I gotta go. I'm gonna let Kid do the news, but Chaz is very butthurt over what has happened in 9 versus 5. We'll talk about it next. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is 5 o'clock.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, the new congressional map splitting Memphis into 3 districts is official, and the Tennessee NAACP's already filed a lawsuit to block it. Democrats Justin Jones and Justin Pearson put on a show in protest. Protesters applauding as Jones lit a picture of the Confederate flag on fire inside the Capitol. Justin Pearson got into the face of a state trooper who was arresting Pearson's brother who was protesting. Jones calling the white trooper boy and mother effer.
Yeah, let Pearson go. Let Pearson. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You stupid mother.
Well, Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton says he's looking into sanctioning members for their outbursts. And real quick, Memphis State Senator Brent Taylor's filed to run as a Republican for the new 9th Congressional District, has the backing of U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, and at least $1 million for a campaign. War with Iran. NBC says the U.S. military has struck Iran in at least 2 locations, calling the attacks defensive, but not a resumption of combat operations. And that 6th case of the hantavirus confirmed from the cruise ship where the virus spread. And the World Health Organization telling everyone, calm down. This is not like COVID. ABC News contributor and epidemiologist Dr. John Brownstein.
This virus does not spread efficiently like COVID. There's not asymptomatic transmission, which is critical to a real widespread global phenomenon. So the public risk is very low. The reason why the response is so big is that many passengers travel to multiple countries, not because the virus is spreading across these countries.
3 people have died, and those who are hospitalized are in stable condition. And at least 5 states' health departments are monitoring some people who have returned from trips aboard that same ship. That includes Georgia and Virginia, Arizona, and California. Well, you don't need a mask, but you may want to be wearing gloves as you work in the garden this summer, especially here in the Southeast, as we hear from ABC's Jim Ryan, who's telling us about an insect with a nasty reputation and an even nastier sting.
The Asian needle ant was first detected in the U.S. in the 1930s and has now spread to nearly 24 states, from Florida to Arkansas to New York. Its sting is extremely painful, potentially deadly if you're allergic.
The good news is they're not terribly aggressive like the fire ant.
Scott Baker of the Virginia Cooperative Extension.
But they do enact a very painful sting if people interact with them.
Experts say the needle ant doesn't go into homes, but stays outside. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes, right shoulder block, 24 eastbound past Old Hickory Boulevard in Laverne. Goodlettsville, the right shoulder block, 65 southbound near mile marker 100. The Gulch, 40 westbound before Demumbrian Street. Complete stop-and-go brake tapping eastbound 440 over to 24, northbound 65 to the south loop, northbound north loop up to the northern split, and eastbound east loop downtown. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Oh, Ryan, keep that up. Just let it just simmer there. Yeah, just. Oh well, maybe I screwed you up. I shouldn't have said anything. That's on me, Ryan. That's not on you. I just love it. Yeah, I love that music. Just to you know how I do. Jackson know how I do. You know how it goes. I like to simmer just a little bit. Yeah, it's in freedom. Follow me, freedom. Bye 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 bye. Hello. Yeah. Matt Murphy Radio Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 8 minutes after the hour of 5 p.m. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, we've got big news. Lots of political things going on in the state of Tennessee, making national headlines, and we appreciate your commentary on all of what's happening. 615-737-9986, 615-737. I cannot. You are such a goofball. I have a difficult time looking at you when you're wearing that hat. Jackson Williams is in studio because Ryan is back behind the glass, controlling the experience, making sure that everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as possible. Ken Weaver just finished up delivering headlines in News Closet B. He's gathering more for the 5:30 newscast as we speak, and we appreciate you being with us, whatever time you're able to give us. We're appreciative. Now, if you're on the...
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at you. I just pulled up the YouTube chat, so it's like a little behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just looking at you pointing at your hat.
Safety first.
Jackson's in studio with us, and he's got a hard hat on, and it doesn't fit.
It does fit.
It most certainly.
Let me adjust it.
Turn your head real fast.
It most certainly does not fit.
Turn your head real fast, Brother Jackson. Let's see if that hat stays on.
Oh, it stayed on.
It did. Way to go, Brother Jackson.
All right. Okay. Maybe it fits a little better than I gave you credit. Oh, look at you. There you go. Now you're going to be all dizzy.
Brother Jackson's taking over the Music City loop.
Oh, that was close. Jackson could go down there and dig a tunnel right now as we speak.
I'm ready to go. Elon, hire me.
How's that? I want to make a joke. No, you don't want me to make it? I bet Elon's paying pretty good down in that Music City loop.
I bet you he is.
I bet he's paying pretty good.
Deep pockets.
Oh, yeah. That boring company, they're getting it done over there, aren't they? Hey, did y'all see where they announced the first private partnership? I saw this the other day. I don't have the details in front of me. I'm going to pull the story up, though. They announced a partnership between the boring company and a series of condominiums where they are going to go directly underneath the condominiums. They're going to have so you'll be able to go from this high-rise condominium complex directly to the airport without ever leaving your condominium complex. You won't
Son
have to
of a biscuit eater.
And I I had it, and let me see if I can find it real quick, because that was pretty big news. Lost in the political shuffle, obviously, because of everything else that is going on. I also had the maps. If you want to know what political district you're going to be in, what congressional district you're going to be in, I have a map overlay that we put together. And hat tip to a fellow by the name of Don Johnson for doing this. Not that Don Johnson, another Don Johnson, I assume. But he did a rendering of the map and then overlaid it with an actual map of the state of Tennessee so we can get cities, and I can zoom in on the cities and tell you exactly, almost to street level, what congressional district you will be in, and I'm happy to do that for you if you're curious. For example, many of you in downtown Columbia, Tennessee are now in District Number 9. I know that you previously have been in 5, and, most of us don't like change, but so be it. Chaz Mulder is none too happy about that, and Chaz is he's out and out saying that he got put in District Number 9 because Andy Ogles was scared. He said, if you're scared, say you're scared, Andy. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what his public comment was. I've got the full comment coming up in moments on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matter of fact, 9 gets up into portions of College Grove. If you're in Paytonsville, Arrington, Nolensville, you're in District 9. Some of Brentwood is in District 9. If you live anywhere on 253, what is 253? What? Everybody knows them as the names of the road. Concord Road. If you live on Concord Road between 65 and 41, you're in District Number 9. You're not in 5 anymore. You're not. I don't know where you were previously. Now, if you're in Creve Hall, you're now in 5. No, wait. Stand by. You're not in 5. You're in 7. So, like Creve Hall, Belmead is now in 7. And most of downtown Nashville is either 7 or 6. And 6 extends from downtown Nashville out through Hermitage, Mount Juliet, Gladeville, Lebanon. Is that 6? Yeah, that's 6. And 4 gets up in there into Laverne and a little bit of Smyrna as well. So just running down some of the areas for you. You're being told, by the way, by loyal listeners that you look absurd.
That's fair. That's what I go for.
Oh, well, you took your hard hat off, and I guess work's done for the day. It's after 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Quitting time.
Quitting time, Ken. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go hop on one of them pedal taverns.
You'd do good on a pedal tavern. And the tunnel's not going to flood, y'all. Y'all calm down. Everything's going
And
good.
if it floods, you can go swimming.
Or diving, sure. 615-737-9986. In the meantime, lost in those politics involving the redrawing of the district maps. For those just getting off working into your cars, the maps were passed. They've already been signed by the governor. We've gotten so far down this road that there's already been a lawsuit that's filed against this. I imagine that that's coming from Steve Cohen or his people. Senator Brent Taylor, who is a state senator who resides in the suburbs of Memphis, has already announced that he will be running for congressional district number 9. One assumes that Andy Ogles will continue. And, Chaz Mulder wanted to suggest in a post that he put up. Hold on, let me get back to it. Come on, Chaz. Where you at? We invited Chaz on the show. And I don't know if he will I don't know if he'll come on or not. I've never spoken to the man. He is currently the mayor of Columbia, and this was his statement. History will not be kind to this moment. When our kids and grandkids ask what happened in 2026, we will have to, because I'm sure that will happen. I'm sure, Jackson, your grandchildren, many, many years from now, Matt Murphy will be long in the grave, and your grandchildren will sit on Grandpapa Williams' lap, and they'll say, Peepaw, tell us what happened in 2026. And this is what you'll tell them, Jackson. You ready? You will speak to them and you will say, huh? Get the hell off my lap.
Grab me a cold beer.
Peepaw's tired. Peepaw Williams ain't.
Oh,
that's good. I like that. It's nice. That's right. Peepaw Williams, this is what you'll tell them. Children, according to former Mayor Chaz Mulder, in 2026, the state legislature changed the rules of the game. I should talk more like Peepaw Williams. And silenced your voice. And your vote. Because Andy Ogles was losing his election. We will tell them that Washington cronies tried to rig the system and pick and choose their voters instead of letting the voters pick them. I'm going to keep making the case that Tennessee needs someone in Washington who will focus on the issues important to them. Our campaign has inspired thousands of Tennesseans to believe we can do better. I intend to prove them right. More to come. Chaz Mulder.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
If I remember a congressman, who was your congressman when you were 26?
When I was 26, I lived in Montgomery, and who was my congressman when I was in Montgomery? And I was doing I was doing talk radio back then. Be a Democrat, some Democrat.
Exactly.
Oh, I remember. Bobby Bright.
Okay.
Bobby Bright.
Exactly the point. Got it. Exactly the point.
Yeah. Democrat.
If I'm 75, 80, I doubt I'm going to remember my congressman. From
no. And I promise you, you will not be telling a sad tale of how democracy died in darkness, or this was not what democracy looked like, or whatever nonsense. Mulder's upset because Mulder thought he had a chance to dispatch of Andy Ogles. Let me give you the political reality on all of this. All of these Congress people are upset. Andy Ogles is not happy. Scott Desjardins is not happy. I guess Burchett and Harshbarger and Fleischman are fine because their districts have been largely untouched. I have no idea where David Kustoff is on this because we can't get him on the phone. I'll tell you this. Yours truly, your humble correspondent in the afternoons on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, we've reached out to all of them. I have contacted David Kustoff. I've contacted Matt Van Epps. I've contacted Andy Ogles. I've contacted Scott Desjardins. I've contacted John Rose. John Rose called me back. John Rose's people were willing to come on. Obviously, he's running for governor. More on that in a moment. He's not running for his congressional seat. So we were going to have Rose on, but then, Dan and I try to coordinate when our guests are going to fall because sometimes we're fishing from the same pond. And Dan had Rose on prior to us scheduling him, so I allowed that to happen, and we're going to have John on a little later on next week. That said, Desjardins did not want to come on with us. I'm just being honest with you. Scott said he wants to let all of this play out and see where the chips fall, and then he'll come on. And I just left it with him and told him, well, you just tell me when you want to be on the radio again. I mean, I asked him 3 days in a row, and 3 days in a row I got the same answer. And he was like, well, I just want all of this to cool down. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Why don't you tell me? Because what I don't care for is representatives who only want to speak to their constituencies when the good times are happening and not when the difficult times are happening or difficult choices are being made, but whatever. So at least we heard back from him. Have not heard back from Andy Ogles at all. Matt Van Epps was unable to do it yesterday. I did not ask Matt today, but we'll try to have him on. None of these Congress people are happy because they don't like change, and it's making them work. And frankly, that's part of what I like about all of this. Now, let me just put it down there to where the goats can graze on it. Andy Ogles' district just changed dramatically, and he's got no money. Dude's got no cash. Politically speaking, and I'm not supporting this guy or that guy. I'm in District 5, right? I'll say this. This opens the door for somebody else to primary Andy Ogles if they don't believe that Andy Ogles is doing the best job possible, or if they believe that there ought to be better representation for different parts of the state of Tennessee. Right? And I'm not trying to be mean to Desjardins either.
Scott is very frustrated because his district has changed in a way that he's got to go into new areas. He's got to meet new people. He's got to go to new pancake breakfasts and all of those sorts of things. And he's got to work a little harder.
Got to kiss new babies.
And, Descharlais, yeah, I mean, he does. He has to kiss new babies. Descharlais was in a district that I think District 4 was like a plus 20 Republican district, and they took away his 20 and gave him an 8 plus. And so that just changes the nature of the dynamics of the race that you're running, and that's going to get some lips to be pooched out, I suppose. But for Mulder to say that this was all done to guarantee a victory from Ogles, I think Mulder knows that he's lying. He's just spinning it because this does not benefit Andy Ogles. Andy is now going to have to raise a hell of a lot of money very quickly and get his name ID where it is currently not in a lot of places in this state where he has never been, at least politically speaking. I don't suppose that there's not a place in Tennessee that Andy's not been just as a resident, but as a politician, he's got to go to a lot of, I'm just looking at the map here. District 5 is now Mount Pleasant, Hohenwald, Centerville. Okay. It gets up to Fairview and Bon Aqua. Okay. But then it skirts up to Hurricane Mills, McEwen, Camden, Paris, Tennessee. Gets over to Dresden. This is up along the Tennessee-Kentucky border, right? Over to Troy. And then that thing snakes back down to Dyersburg into Ripley and all the way down to Memphis along the Mississippi River. Well, that's a new district, y'all. And that's a lot of new territory that'll have to be covered. 615-737-9986, 22 after the hour. Your call's coming up. If you're wondering where your new district is, I can tell you. Also, new polling out for the governor's race in the state of Tennessee. And John Rose and Monty Fritz are not going to like to hear this. I'll tell you what the results are. They're in, and they heavily favor one candidate. That's next on Super Talk. Hello, friends. My name is Matt Murphy, and I want to talk to you for a moment about Accurate Mortgage. Accurate Mortgage is your one-stop shop for all things mortgages in our community. I know when I wanted to buy a home, when we were looking around for the best place for us, friends, there was no other company that I would consider going with than Accurate Mortgage because I've been telling you how good they are at their job for a long, long time. I met them when I first got into the state. And I loved them then, and I love them even better now because they got me a great mortgage rate. They worked their tails off to make sure that was in my best financial interest. Mike and his team did the job, made it so easy for us and our family. So you know how it is, right? A lot of time they're asking for this thing and that thing, and you don't know you need that thing, and it's just a hassle, and you're not really sure if your rates are as low as they could be. Accurate Mortgage makes sure that all of those things are on the up and up. Secondarily, they make sure that everything that you need to bring to the table, they let you know up front so that they make the process as easy as possible. So whether it's a home purchase that you're looking at, a refinance, maybe you're looking to build onto your current home and want a construction loan, they've got all of those possibilities at their fingertips and so much more. Go to AccurateMTG.com, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage at MLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Accurate Mortgage. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here. Let's talk for a moment about, all things health insurance. And I don't go anywhere. Get back over here. I want to talk to you about this because for far too long, people have just assumed that once they have health insurance, there's nothing they can do to change it. Well, Shane Ring and Cover Nash are trying to, dare I say, disabuse you of that notion. Shane Ring can examine your health insurance coverage and make sure at no obligation to you that you're not overpaying and that you're getting the coverage that you and your family deserve. Are you sure of that? Do you know what your deductibles are? Do you know how much you would pay in the unlikely event that you would have to have a hospital stay? Gosh, the last thing you need to worry about is health coverage if that were the case. Well, Shane Ring can make sure that you are taken care of and for less money than you are currently paying. It's all about making sure that that coverage fits you and your family. It's all about giving that call to Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Shane can help. He's your personal health care concierge in that regard. He can also help you understand how it's always open enrollment with Cover Nash, and he shops every insurance plan on the marketplace today. Real health coverage on your terms, not the government's. That's Cover Nash. Go to covernash.com, covernash.com, or 615-465-0023, 465-0023.
Tennessee has a new congressional map that splits Memphis into 3 districts, and the state's NAACP chapter has already filed a lawsuit. And you got to hear about what scientists have found just in time for summer vacation planning. That's coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Someone's asking about Madison. You know, Salem Town, I believe this is where Freddie O'Connell lives in Salem Town. He's now in district number 7. He's in Matt Van Epps' district, so that's nice. And I want to say, where's Madison on this? Madison, over there on, Madison is in district number 6. So if you imagine Nashville, 7 kind of comes from the north. 6 kind of comes in from the east of Nashville, so it encompasses most of East Nashville and gets into downtown. 4 snakes up from the south and east, and then 7 is in the north and then snakes around to the west and kind of gets a little south of the city, like to Belmead and whatnot. So, and that's where it meets 4. So 5 is completely out of the metro area of Nashville. The closest 5 gets is... they get close to Belmead, like Natchez Trace. Percy Warner Park. But that's the answer to your question, I hope. You want me to get to Tom real quick on line 4? I don't think I have the time. Gosh. But, Tom, let's try to sneak it in here. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Hey, good, man. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. I'm pressed on time, but I wanted to sneak you in before the news.
I got you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just calling about the redistricting, because I'm a candidate in the 4th Congressional District, and I did not get redistricted, so I'm still running there, along with Scott Desjardins. And kind of my perspective on it is I wasn't super excited, but it's just a thing. You got to deal with it. And if our congressman was out in the district already, he wouldn't really have these problems. I feel for some of those other ones because our district didn't get shook up quite as much as some of the other ones. But I said, to me, it's just a thing, man. You should be out in the district meeting people, and that's not what we're getting with Congressman Desjardins. So good for him. He's actually going to have to go campaign.
Well, no, are you staying in the race, Tom?
Yes, I am.
Are you still in the 4th, to your knowledge?
Still in the 4th. I am. Yeah, I live in Warren County, and I'm not going to do any of the weird stuff about jumping into one I don't live in. To me, that's crazy talk. But you know, to each his own, I guess.
I'll tell you who's gotten really and Tom, I'm look, anything that makes the candidates or the incumbents get out and get closer to the people in the districts that they represent, I think it's a good thing, Tom. And I think you just said that, so obviously I think you're going to agree with it. Well, look, when I have more time, come on and talk to us about your candidacy. You know we always have a door open for you.
Okay, I will
All right.
certainly do that, Matt. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. 100%, absolutely. No, I obviously I'm going to encourage all the candidates. I'll tell you who really got screwed, though, is Johnny Garrett. And I like Johnny a lot. And Johnny has had a great attitude about all of this. I'll tell you what I mean when I say Garrett got screwed in this redistricting. And there's going to be winners and losers, and he just politically is losing a lot of his base of support in Sumner County. More on that coming up. It's 32 after the hour. Time for the news on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, a new congressional map is official. It splits Memphis into 3 districts, and the state's NAACP chapter's already filed a lawsuit to try to stop it. But Speaker of the Tennessee House, Cameron Sexton, telling WTN's Matt Murphy show this was to be expected.
I feel very confident that we will win in the end, but you never know about a liberal judge in the beginning and what they will or won't do. Have you seen them do odd things at the federal level? I'm not saying anything about the Tennessee judges. But I feel very comfortable that we will win this map in the end.
Now, Memphis Republican State Senator Brent Taylor has announced he's running for the new 9th Congressional District. He has the backing of U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, and at least $1 million from his personal account for his campaign. Multiple reports say the U.S. military has struck 2 locations in Iran, but officials say it was for defensive reasons, not a resumption of combat operations. Health experts say the hantavirus outbreak on the cruise ship is not like the COVID pandemic. Dr. Todd Ellerin is an infectious disease specialist at South Shore Health in Massachusetts.
Am I worried about more people on the cruise ship being infected? Absolutely. Am I happy that the WHO and other epidemiologists are coordinating and making sure that these patients who are on the cruise, if and when they disembark, it's done safely? Yes, it's very important. Am I worried about the physicians, the healthcare providers who are caring for these patients? Yes, you need special precautions, but I'm not worried about this being a pandemic.
Meanwhile, just in time for summer vacation planning.
Researchers working on a federal study found a rare but dangerous brain-eating amoeba that causes fatal brain infections in warm waters at several national parks in the West, including at Lake Mead and in Yellowstone, Grand Teton, and Olympic National Park. The study was published by the U.S. Geological Survey, and out of 185 samples at 40 sites, about a third had the amoeba in them. A person can become infected when contaminated water enters through their nose. It's extremely rare to get, but the death rate can be 98% for those who do get it. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes, Pegram, 40 westbound before McCrory Lane, Laverne, right shoulder block, 24 eastbound past Old Hickory Boulevard South, 40 westbound before Demumbrian, and then in Goodlettsville, 65 southbound near mile marker 100. In Williamson County, a crash, 840 eastbound between Carters Creek Pike and Columbia Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
I have a telephone number for you, especially if you've noticed bugs around your home. If you don't have current pest control, they're just going to come on in. Those bugs will take what is yours. They're persistent. They're insatiable. They will not stop until they have what they want. What do they want? They want the food that's yours. They want the comfort of your home. They want to get inside and take up residence. They like it in there. They like what you like. I mean, that's the only way that bugs and I are alike, though, right? Or bugs and you are alike. Every other way, you want them out of your life. And if you want them out of your life, U.S. Pest is the place to go. U.S. Pest is the company that I recommend. Why? Because they're great at what they do. They eliminate bugs, whatever they are. They eliminate the possibility of termites. And you need to catch that before it starts happening. But whether it's preventative or corrective measures, they can handle all of your termite needs as well. Plus, they do crawl space remediation too. It's U.S. Pest, uspest.com, uspest.com, or give a call today at 590-1260. That's 615-590-1260. Contact J.K. and Erica Brister. Two things you need to know. If you see any of their billboards around town, when you hear me talking about them, when you see them on television, when you see them on or hear them on the radio or see one of their flyers, you'll know that they love the United States of America and they hate bugs. At U.S. Pest. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy, The Matt Murphy Show. Senator Jack Johnson, so gracious with his time. He's been at the airport, but he's swinging by in the 6 o'clock hour. We plan on talking with him then. Mike and Paul and Corey, we're going to get to you mere moments from now. We haven't forgotten about you. You all be patient on the phone lines, and we'll get to each of you at 20 minutes until 6 o'clock. It is time, friends, for Ninkampoops in the News. On Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oops, in the news.
Somebody stole my hard hat.
Well, maybe they're a candidate for the Ninkampoops. Never know.
Usurp the throne.
You know what the news is. Big news being congressional maps passed today, but it's time to dig a little deeper all across the state of Tennessee, these United States of America. Nay! The globe, and find these Ninkampoops where they live, where they breathe, and present them to you. Ken Weaver, it is my understanding that it is a one-on-one-on-one matchup, and today is a rubber match that decides the week, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So Ken Weaver won yesterday. Jackson Williams won the day before. Matt Murphy won on Monday, and Jackson is out tomorrow. So this is going to decide all of the marbles. Jackson, you got a story over there?
I do.
Okay. Ken Weaver, you ready to pick us the order?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it.
It is going to be Weaver, Murphy, Williams.
There you go. There you go. That's Ken Weaver basically saying that Murphy's not a threat, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll find out together. Ken, with that in mind, you're a nincompoop, sir.
This here's out of Wirt County, West Virginia, where a woman's accused of chasing down, then shooting at a driver who hit one of her chickens in a road.
Uh-oh.
The West Virginia State Police responded last Friday to an intersection there in Wirt County after a man reportedly was shot at. The trooper spoke to the victim who claimed he was driving his side-by-side when he struck a chicken in the road in front of a house. He kept going and was later chased down by a driver in a Toyota Tacoma who he says was blaring their horn and tailgating him. As he turned at an intersection, the victim says the suspect put the pickup truck in park, got out, and allegedly shot at him 3 times. He claims he saw the gun pointing at him when the shots were fired. The victim told law enforcement he recognized and knew the suspect to be Bobby Drennan. Drennan told the trooper that the victim drove past her home at a high rate of speed while her children were playing in the front yard and struck her chicken in the middle of the road. The complaint says she stated she chased him down, met him at the intersection. She said when she arrived at the intersection, the victim didn't stop. She claims she then fired her gun in the air. The trooper placed Drennan under arrest and seized the firearm. She was charged with wanton endangerment with a firearm, taken to the Wood County Holding Center to await arraignment.
Did you say she was charged with wanton endangerment? What was the...
Wanton endangerment.
So, tell me about the chicken?
Yes.
And the road?
Yes.
Why?
She's just letting her chickens run around loose, I guess.
Why did the chicken cross the road, Ken?
To get away from this old boy on the side-by-side.
I suppose so. Man, oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, I think everybody was clothed.
Yeah,
there's no word of anybody being naked or half naked.
Well, but when you got chickens involved, I think gunplay is, sometimes it's necessary to protect those chickens.
Yes, sir.
Has anyone, I just need to ask, sometimes we have to do this, guys. If you're new to Ninkampoops in the News, we call a lot of Ninkampoop stories, and sometimes I forget what other fellas have done. Drone story, burning the drone. Anybody?
Haven't heard that.
All right, then, here it goes. Because I had 2. I had a backup. I was worried.
This is from The Smoking Gun.
Maybe. What's your problem? What, you're going to use this story?
No, but I saw it. I didn't really like it.
You didn't like it? It's a winner, baby. This story's a winner. I mean, there's no nakedness in this story, but there's a destruction of property. A married couple is facing felony charges after reportedly admitting to burning a drone in their fire pit after they discovered the $1,200 item had mistakenly landed in the backyard of their Florida property.
I'd have done it too.
Throw it in the fire pit. I don't know why, but this reminds me of my grandpa. This is the way my pa would have reacted to a drone landing in his backyard. Investigators say that Christopher Paula, 40, was flying a DJ-1 Mini 3 Pro drone around 11:30 in the p.m. last Saturday night when he lost communication while in flight over his Port St. Lucie neighborhood. The drone, Paula told police, was programmed to automatically return to his home base when connection was lost. However, instead of flying back to his residence, the wayward drone touched down in the backyard of a house owned by Sandra Marcellus, 43. Marcellus, who bought the property in 2015, lives there with her husband, a man whose name I cannot pronounce. His last name is Daniels, and so we'll just call him Mr. Daniels. Using GPS tracking, Paula determined his drone's last known position was in the nearby backyard. Paula said he knocked on the home's front door. The woman came to her voice came through the Ring doorbell camera and declared, and this is why the story has made Ninkampoops in the news. Y'all ready? I'm going to quote Ms. Marcellus. He rang the Ring doorbell camera, and she answered it by saying, "You don't have no effing drone anymore, sir." Paula then contacted police, who subsequently spoke with Marcellus about the drone incursion after reportedly admitting that she and Daniels burned the drone
Marcella said the couple has experienced ongoing issues with drones flying over their property, and they're sick of it. They're sick of it. It prompted her recently to post on the Ring neighborhood app about her concerns over the drones, which she said would pause when she noticed them in the air. On one recent occasion, Marcellus told police that she was outside undressed. Nakedness in my story, boys. When a drone flew over her property. And, that drone could be taking photos of Ms. Marcellus disrobed. A week ago, upon discovering the foreign object with a camera in their yard, Marcellus said that she made the decision with her husband to do something about it. They burned the drone in the fire pit. Due to the drone destruction, Marcellus and Mr. Daniels were arrested for criminal mischief. Now, here's where the twist goes. You know who my Ninkampoops are?
The people who burned the drone?
No.
The police?
The police. The police of the Ninkampoops. I'm sorry. If your property ends up on my property, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that property. I believe that possession is 9/10 of the law, and I don't believe these folks should have been arrested. You need to keep your crappy drone off of my backyard because I get naked in my backyard, at least if I'm this lady, and sometimes I don't want to be seen. So there you go.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Most of the time. Often. Occasionally. All right, come on over. I don't mind. Jack?
You say possession is 9/10 of the law. You didn't account for the other 10%. That's what got him here.
That's well stated, Jackson. You're going to make a good lawyer one of these days.
Drones might as well be eagles. They're like federally protected.
Now, get off my man, if you're flying low over my house, you're going to get a shotgun to the drone.
All right. Y'all ready for the winner?
Oh, we just heard the winner, Jackson, but you can do your story. You ain't got no effing drone no more.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. DUI suspect attempts to hide beer in Happy Meal during DUI investigation. Nothing, Ken? Nothing?
Jackson's so dependent on that Weaver laugh. I need it so bad. Don't laugh at him.
I just cover the news, boys.
There's a trophy on the line, and Weaver will laugh when you say something funny, buddy boy.
Officers with the Tampa Police Department made an unusual discovery during a DUI investigation in March. A beer can in a Happy Meal box.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen this kind of Happy Meal? An officer asked while holding up a Heineken can.
You didn't say it was a Heine can.
A Heine. The officer said they found the can tucked inside the Happy Meal box on the floorboard of the suspect's car. A video released Tuesday showed officers performing field sobriety exercises on a DUI suspect. The suspect told officers, "I can take any test right now and pass it." The suspect was tasked with counting her steps as she attempted to walk in a straight line. However, the video showed her questioning herself during the exercise. "That's 9, she asked the officer. "I wasn't counting," the officer told her. "You wasn't?"
Where's this story from?
Tampa, Florida.
Okay, then carry on. The accent is appropriate. Yeah.
"No, that's why I asked you to count out loud," the officer said. A few moments later, the video showed officers placing the suspect under arrest for driving under the influence. The police department reminded drivers celebrating Cinco de Mayo to have a plan if they choose to drink.
She did.
Had her an old trying to hide her Heine.
Yep. Some would say she tried to keister.
Tried to hide the Heine and failed miserably. There you go. That's
Brother Jackson, I thought it was a fine delivery. A very fine delivery.
We just can't let Murphy win. We're not letting the crisscross.
The crisscross hand job, is that what you're calling it?
Yes, we are not letting that what he just said
Goodness.
become a foot.
That's what he's been calling it. He's accusing Murphy and Chris Hand of collusion regarding the trophy, Ken, and he said that it's an inside Murphy hand job.
I just do the news, boys.
Ken just does the news, boys. That's how we play Ninkampoops. Now, here's the deal. You've got to go in there and start the poll because I don't know that Ryan knows about the poll. Oh, you got it? Well, Ryan's on top of the poll. The poll's coming on the YouTube chat. Otherwise, you may vote. 615-737-9986. That's how we play Ninkampoops in the news. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Paul and Corey will get to you momentarily right after this.
I don't disagree with one of the loyal listeners who says that all Happy Meals should come with a beer. I agree with that. Defense Systems is an active shooter and physical security expertise company. They offer their expertise in a dangerously developing world, and I want to talk to you for a moment about them. If you own a business, if you are a decision maker at a business, if you are a decision maker at a church or a school, really any place that people gather, then Defense Systems wants to speak with you. They trained at Cumulus Nashville. That's where I first met Brent Fiddler and his team. Their clients have included schools, corporations, healthcare facilities, law firms, manufacturing facilities. They consult on security design and readiness for corporate facilities, commercial buildings, schools, and whatnot, and they can provide custom solutions to you. And most importantly, they train your staff, they train your folks as to what to do in the unlikely event that a negative situation is going to happen to your workplace. Something like active shooters, workplace violence, generally speaking, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical. They all customize it to your facility, and you need this training, folks. I've been through it multiple times, and I feel ready and prepared in the unlikely event that something should happen. Give them a call at 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defensesystems.com.
And Tennessee's new congressional map has drawn its first lawsuit. Details coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Also coming up just after 6 o'clock, Senator Jack Johnson is going to make a return appearance twice in 1 week. Very exciting. He is here. And he just said he was at the door. You got him? So Jack Johnson is on the way next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, but that gives us an opportunity to speak to you on the phones about whatever subject is on your mind. Like Corey is calling right now. Hey, Corey, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Murphy. How are you doing this afternoon?
Man, I'm fabulous. Haven't talked to you in a while. You doing all right?
It's been a minute. I'm doing all right. Hey, I want to talk to you about a couple things here. I'll try to make this as quick as I can. You were talking about it may have made it harder for Desjardins to get reelected in District 4. I want to take exception with that because District 4 used to be parts of 4 TV markets, and you know what that means. You've got to spend the money in those markets to campaign. Best I can look at it now, he's parts of 2, maybe 3 television markets, Nashville, Chattanooga, and the Huntsville, Alabama TV markets. It may have actually made it a little bit easier for Desjardins. On the flip side, Andy Ogles in District 5, I'm looking at possibly 4, maybe even 5 markets he's got in there out of 3 different states. Paducah, Kentucky's going to be in there, Memphis, and then, of course, Nashville, and maybe even parts of Tupelo, Mississippi. They get into that. I don't think Chaz Moulder had a prayer in taking down Andy Ogles in the general, but Charlie Hatcher, I do believe, had a chance of giving Ogles a run for his money in the Republican primary. And the map that I'm looking at, knowing what I know about it, I believe they've moved Hatcher out of 5, and now he's in that new redrawn 9.
Yeah.
That I'm in, by the way, because he's over in the College Grove area, and I was formerly in District 4 with Desjardins. I'm kind of close out here and saying this whole thing it looks stupid and ridiculous to me, and I'm going to kind of play off of something you said earlier. These Republicans are going to have to work. They're going to have to get out here and put some mileage on their shoes this summer, campaigning in these primaries and in the general. They're going to have to get out to all these pancake breakfasts and all these little small communities. But the same can be said for the Democrats. And I hope this doesn't come back to bite the Republicans in the rear end. They may think they've picked up 1 seat in Washington. They may have made Districts 5, 8, and 9 vulnerable because you've got portions of Memphis in all of those districts, and you get in some of these little rural counties that are not heavily populated. If the Democrats play the game right and they play chess and don't play checkers, I know it's a long shot, but this could backfire.
Well, but it's a turnout deal too, right? So if I'm looking at 5, right, and you don't get turnout in Camden and Paris and some of those other smaller communities like you need to combat with the Memphis votes, you can see 5 flip. Now, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying that you had to make some of the districts a harder lift for Republicans in order to try to scoop up 9. You just had to.
And here's the thing, Matt. Who right now is more hacked off? I'll use that word. Who is more hacked off about this? Who's got more fire in their belly? Who's more motivated to get out there and get people to get out and vote right now? The Republicans or the Democrats?
It's not even close. This is the Democrats.
You got that right.
Not even close. And the Republicans better, and thank you, Corey, for the call. The Republicans better get motivated, and they better do it pretty quickly. It is 6 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WGN. I'm sorry, Ryan. I was looking. I didn't see the time there. Normally I listen for that music in the background. Paul, we'll get to you in a moment, and we will get to Senator Jack Johnson, who is coming up next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, a new congressional map is official. It splits Memphis into 3 districts, and the state's NAACP chapter has already filed a lawsuit to try to stop it. Speaker of the Tennessee House, Cameron Sexton, tells WTN's Matt Mofer's show whether lawsuits can be settled before the midterms.
I mean, it's hard to say because I don't know what court they're going to go in. I don't know what judge that is. You don't know if it's a liberal activist judge or what it may be. So, we'll see. We feel very comfortable about how we did it, what we did it, and we did it the right way. And they're going to sue, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know what the short-term future looks like, but long term, I know that these maps will hold up.
Yeah, Memphis Republican State Senator Brent Taylor's already announced he's running for this new 9th Congressional District. He has the backing of U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, and he's pumped $1 million of his own funds into his campaign. There are reports the U.S. military carried out strikes on 2 locations in Iran today, but says it was defensive, not a resumption of combat operations. It comes as we keep hearing about a memorandum of understanding which the U.S. and Iran are considering to end the war or open the Strait of Hormuz or both. Here's Selena Wang.
Even as President Trump is projecting a lot of optimism about the possibility of the two sides reaching a deal, the president is still trying to convince Iran to come to the table. The president is warning that if Iran doesn't agree to these terms, that the U.S. will start bombing again, but at a higher level, at a higher intensity than before.
Gas prices won't come down anytime soon, no matter what happens. Right now, Gas Buddy putting the average in Middle Tennessee at $4.25. Global health officials, including with the World Health Organization, trying to calm everyone down about this hantavirus outbreak on board a cruise ship.
I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far.
So 3 people died. Officials say those who are in the hospital are stable, and at least 7 people who took trips on that same ship are being monitored in 5 states, including Georgia and Virginia. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes Pegram, 40 westbound before McCrory Lane, Green Hills, Woodmont Boulevard at Hillsborough Pike. In Williamson County, 840 eastbound, just east of Arno Road. Hermitage, Lebanon Pike, just east of Chute Lane. In Antioch, Murfreesboro Pike at Hobson Pike. And Spence Lane, right there at Murfreesboro Pike. Over by the fairgrounds, Nolensville Pike at Craighead Street. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll get to more of your telephone calls. Obviously, the big news, the big story. There are other news items that I want to get to today as well in the final hour of the show, but the big news item happened in the halls of the State House, the Capitol building, as a special session concluded today with a vote on congressional redistricting. That vote was successful. If you are a Republican, you're probably pretty happy today as it now goes to the governor. The governor's actually already signed the legislation, and it becomes the new congressional map. This has been challenged. NCAA, I did it again, Jackson. The NAACP, not the NCAA. That would be very, very odd if the NCAA decided to sue on the congressional maps. But I don't know. Maybe they're suing so Diego Pavia can come back to Vandy. I don't know. Well, one way or the other, the lawsuits have been filed as expected. To speak on all of the chaos that was in the State House today, we welcome back to the program. Second time in a week, and I think this is the first time we've ever done that.
Wow.
Is Senator Jack Johnson joining us, Senate Majority Leader. Thank you for coming back.
I should get a parking spot out there. I had to pay. It's like $1.73 to park out there.
I tell my guests that I am ashamed that we do not have a parking area for our guests, and number two, blame Freddie O'Connell, because Freddie's the one that decided that he could not have one single space out there, a non-pay space for guests of the radio station.
Well, I park all over in Asheville. I go to lots of events, and $1.73 is a bargain. So if you do have to pay, I mean, it's pretty reasonable for an hour.
It could be worse if Keith Urban tried to take over the entire cul-de-sac.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wonder if Sapicki pays for his parking. He's here a lot.
He is.
I hope he does, because I don't want him to get a ticket, you know. My buddy Scott Sapicki.
You know what? I'm going to find out if he pays or not. And if, in your honor, if he doesn't pay, I'll call and get him towed.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, man, I'd never pass a bill in the House again.
We had Speaker of the House, Cameron Sexton, on earlier today.
I heard Cameron. He did a great job, as always, talking about what transpired.
Well, and I met you guys when I first came to Tennessee, and I've enjoyed the relationship, and I appreciate the access, kind of an inside track as to what's going on and how it happens and how the sausage is made. And I asked Cameron the question, since I've been here in 21, it feels like this was probably the most raucous day on the Hill. On the Senate side, would you concur with that?
Certainly on the Senate side, and it saddens me. It saddens me that we lost all decorum in the state Senate. Our Democratic colleagues decided to disrupt the proceedings and inflame people that were there in the gallery. And I've certainly been there when there were disruptions in the gallery, and the state troopers had to come in and remove people who were screaming or yelling, and that's going to happen from time to time. But to have our own members of the body who serve in the Senate to just throw all of our rules of decorum out the window and just let proceedings devolve into total chaos, that saddens me. It's beneath the dignity of the Senate. We can disagree. And we do frequently, and we have vigorous debates, and that's what we should do. That's what our constituents elect us to do. But to stand up on your desk and start screaming, as one of our members did today, is an absolute disgrace to the state Senate and to the General Assembly. And I'm ashamed that it took place. And again, saddened is the best way I can put it right now.
Let's for those, and we spoke about this a little earlier. For those listening that are not familiar with specifically what happened, I believe it involved State Senator Charlene Oliver. And I saw the video of Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally. I don't know Randy personally. You do. Obviously, you've served with him for many years. And he announced his retirement. He was hailed as, a wonderful example of what the state Senate should be.
Absolutely.
And what governance should be, and rightly so. And I'm kind of sad for him.
Yeah.
That was not his final moment in the body, and this was him having it being necessary for him to have to gavel down and to attempt to literally shout down a disruptive member of the Tennessee Senate.
Well, again, disgraceful is the word I would use, and that does sadden me as well. Our Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, who is retiring, is not running for re-election this year. We've talked about him previously. 48 years of distinguished service, and what's really interesting about it, Matt, is roughly half, slightly more than half of that time of service, he was in the minority party.
Right.
He was in the minority party and was in a position of having to, work with the majority party, the Democrats at the time, who had super majorities, and never in a million years, no matter how disappointed he was or upset he was about the outcome of a vote on the floor, he would have never stooped to the depth that some of our members did today, and disgraced the body, disgraced the state Senate, and again, it's a sad day for the General Assembly. It's bittersweet because I'm very happy and pleased with what we accomplished, but I'm very disgusted with the behavior of some of my colleagues.
You mentioned that, and it occurs to me that Senator McNally, and I don't know how long he served. I don't know if he was in the House prior to being in the Senate.
I think I have this right. It was, I believe, 10 years in the House and then 38 years in the Senate.
So he was in the body and probably a colleague of Steve Cohen's.
Yes.
When the last time the Democrats drew the district lines,
yes,
and voted congressional district lines. And, thanks to Steve Gill, I give, credit where due. Steve was the first one that produced this map that I saw, and it's floating around the internet now. And it's far more convoluted than what we're being told.
Anything in the map that we're doing. Well, and so Congressman Cohen, former state senator Cohen, you're exactly right, was there in 2002. I was not in the Senate at that time, but I lived in that district. I lived in that, what at the time was the 7th Congressional District, and he literally had the audacity to complain about a proposed district that we ended up passing that stretched from Shelby County to Williamson County. Well, he voted for a map in 2002 when he was a member of the state Senate and in the majority, at that time Democrats were the majority party, for a district that not only went from Shelby County to Williamson County, but also had a tiny little finger that went up to Montgomery County, a far more gerrymandered, far more convoluted, and if your listeners haven't done so, they can easily find that map online and look at it and compare that map. And the 4th district went from Mississippi to, I think, Virginia, from one end of the state to the other. So for them to make any allegations of gerrymandering, my good friend who presented the bill that had the map, Senator John Stevens, who's from West Tennessee, Carroll County, did an outstanding job. And this is a map that maximizes our partisan advantage. And when it comes to the federal government, we don't have a lot of say. We don't have a lot of levers to pull. But one that we do have and has been given to us by the United States Constitution is the right to draw these maps.
One of the things that I appreciate about the decision on the part of the court, I read the Supreme Court decision out of Louisiana, and it was so very well stated by Justice Alito and his colleagues that they made plain that it is not the court's position to get into partisan politics. That is up to the people to decide how they want to respond to partisanship. But what they will do is prevent gerrymandering of a racial nature, that it is wrong to judge these district lines based on the color of constituencies' skin. I feel like that has freed up because I don't feel like that has been going on at the hands of Republicans at all. I do believe that Democrats have been doing that for a fair amount of time because they feel confident if they can get what is typically known as a majority-minority district, that would be a Democrat district. They feel confident in that voting block. But what I do like is that from your colleagues, and I think you said as much when you were here earlier in the week, that you're making plain that your intention is to represent Tennessee in the way that you believe your constituencies expect, and that means bringing 9 congresspeople, Republican congresspeople, to Washington, D.C. And I think y'all have been very clear about that.
100%. Our objective with this is to send 9 members of Congress. We have 9 congressional districts. The General Assembly gets to draw those lines. And we want to make sure that we draw those lines in a manner that sends 9 congressional representatives to Washington as members of the United States House of Representatives that will reflect Tennessee's conservative values. The map that we passed today in both the State House and the State Senate and has been signed by the governor reflects those values. We did our job today.
Before we get too far away from it, I want to ask you one more question about the disruption. So
we asked Speaker of the House Sexton about this on his side of things because he had his fair share of disruptions, as I know you know about. On your side, how does the Senate work that? Will you review what happened, and will leadership make a determination as to how to respond to that in the next General Assembly?
Yes, that's what I'm going to call for. And again, that all happened literally 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago.
Right.
So it's and members had to get out of there and get back to their districts and things. So I look forward to conversations with my fellow members of Senate leadership. Obviously want to speak with our Speaker, Randy McNally, and he is still our Speaker and Lieutenant Governor and will be until January of next year. And to talk about appropriate actions that should be taken, both to deal with what transpired today, which again was a disgusting embarrassment to the state Senate and to the people of Tennessee, but also to look forward. And we have made no secret of the fact that we will have new leadership in the state Senate when we can reconvene for the 115th General Assembly. I am seeking the nomination of my caucus to be the next Speaker of the Senate. We'll see what happens with that. But I think it's imperative that whoever is in leadership, as we prepare for the next General Assembly, that we take a hard look at our rules and have necessary processes in place to deal with members who have so little respect for the decorum that we value so much in the Senate.
And I'm looking over at our super text line, and it occurs to me that we weren't particularly specific. Senator Oliver disrupted the body, and while the vote was going on, stood on her desk and unfurled a sheet that had some language on, like Jim Crow 2.0 or something along those lines. Right?
I saw it, and I couldn't read it. It looked like a sheet with maybe black spray paint or something on it. I saw her holding that there, and it was chaos and utter pandemonium.
I mean, the gallery went crazy.
Yeah, the gallery went crazy and all that, and the troopers had to come in, and there were a lot of protesters outside of the chamber. And I always want to make sure I say this: I value the First Amendment. I value the fact that people can come and protest. I have done that. I've been a protester. But when you disrupt our proceedings, you've crossed a line, and that is not protected by the First Amendment. We have to be able to conduct the people's business, and that was disrupted not only by people who were visiting the Capitol in our gallery and outside the chamber, but that was perpetrated by actual members of the body, and that's unacceptable.
And it felt like, at least in the video that I saw, the Lieutenant Governor they were trying to take the vote, and he indicated on several occasions, you cannot vote unless you are seated. And I assume he was talking specifically. That was his way of attempting to get Senator Oliver under control and explain to her that her vote would not be counted yay or nay if she continued that outburst.
Well, and I want to be clear, it was that particular senator. It was other members of the Democratic caucus, too, who had left their seats and were running around the chamber screaming at members in their faces. And then they gathered up what we refer to as the well, which is up near the dais where the clerk is and where the speaker is. And they were not in their seat where they would need to be in order to cast a vote. We had closed out debate, and we were ready to take the matter to a vote, as we do hundreds and hundreds of times every legislative session. And ultimately we did, and we were able to do so, but not without a lot of chaos.
Well, and to those Democrats, I have said this, and I'm interested, you and I have had a lot of conversations about partisanship and about different ideas, different approaches, different ideology, different, basic philosophy about the role of government. Mm-hmm. And, I get it. I can understand why they're upset. I can understand why they're in the super minority. They don't get to make the decisions. They don't have any power here because the people of the state of Tennessee have spoken.
That's right.
Clearly about how they want their General Assembly to be led. But that doesn't mean they have to like it. But the rules are there to protect everyone in the body.
That's right.
And, what I said at the beginning of the show, Jack, is, you know what? Y'all go get passionate in your home districts. Get competitive. Compete. Get in the arena. If you believe that you've been wronged, go express that to the people of the state of Tennessee and let the people decide whether or not they agree with you.
Well, and I'll go a step further. I spoke with members of Democratic leadership as we were convening to talk about the plan for the day, and we will do that sometimes. And we go out of our way as the majority party, as the supermajority party. I'm the Republican leader, and we have a supermajority there. We have in excess of 2/3 we have 27 out of 33 members, and with a 2/3 vote, you can suspend the rules, you can call for the question, you can stop debate, and we bend over backwards to make sure they have every opportunity to make their case.
To try to
and
be fair to them.
And to say their piece. And I couldn't tell you exactly. We had probably given them close to 2 hours, somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours of time for every single member of the Democratic caucus in the state Senate to stand up and make their case for why this was a bad idea to do it. And I celebrate that. And we're always going to be fair within reason. And there are times where if it's gone on for a certain amount of time, we will call for previous question, which stops debate and we move on to a vote. So we had given them an inordinate amount of time because it is an important issue. What we did today and what we've done for the past 3 days is a big deal. Whether you support it or oppose it, it is a big deal. And we take that seriously, and we've been over backwards to make sure we're dotting every I and crossing every T and making sure that all viewpoints are heard. And we knew that some of our friends across the aisle were upset that we were doing this, and they have every right as a duly and constitutionally elected member of that body to be able to stand up and make their case. We don't have to let them do that. We could have walked in today, moved to pass the bill, someone stand up and call for the question and shut off all debate. We did not do that. We gave them close to 2 hours time. You can go watch the video. You can go watch the video. It's there. And you can see every single member of the Democratic caucus had an extensive amount of time to make the case. And then after all of that, and they'd said everything they wanted to say, it's time to move on to a vote. And then they completely disrupt the proceedings of the body. It's shameful.
Speaking of moving on, a quick timeout and then one more segment with you. And I know you've got to get to family, but I want to ask you where we go from here. And are you comfortable with the legal challenges that have already begun to come in? 23 after the hour, Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson in studio with us. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Grace Point Healthcare is located in the heart of Franklin, Tennessee. I've got a telephone number for you, 599-6868. Sometimes I wait till the end of the commercial to give you that number, but I'm going to do it on the front end, and I'll do it on the back end too because you need to make the call that so many others have made. This is a direct pay, affordable, convenient healthcare opportunity for you. Direct pay, why? Because they don't want the insurance company getting between you and your doctor, and that happens all the time, whether you see them or not. Doctors make decisions based on what they're told to do by insurance companies. That's the bottom line, folks. They don't do that at Grace Point Healthcare. They believe in treating you. They believe in that sacrosanct relationship. They believe in protecting that relationship, and they believe in getting to the root cause of the problems, not simply treating the symptoms. That's what it's all about. Ask them about the Smart Care Plan, which keeps your cost very low, very affordable through your HSA plan. Ask them about getting the family involved, and ask them about their wait times, or should I say their lack of wait times, because you don't wait at Grace Point Healthcare. They believe in getting you in quickly and seeing you as soon as you get to the facility. Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. 599-6868.
And there is officially a new congressional map in Tennessee, and the state NAACP chapter's already filed a lawsuit to try to block it. This story and more coming up at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, Ken Weaver's newscast coming up. Just a fair warning, Ryan, I might stretch this a little long because I want to get Jack to his family, and I've got a couple of questions to ask of Senator Jack Johnson about what comes next. It's a pretty obvious question, but I would feel foolish if I did not ask this. Are you confident and comfortable speaking with your legal team, I don't know if you've spoken to anybody in the Attorney General's office. Obviously, there's already been a lawsuit filed. Do you feel good about this?
I do. But we have done everything we were asked to do, I believe, and to make sure we did this in the right way, because it is complex and there's all kinds of issues. But we believe we followed our constitutional authority, and I'm hopeful that the courts will see it that way. And there's already been a suit that you mentioned that's been filed, and so I'm hoping that the courts will allow this to stand, because I believe we're doing the people's business. We're doing the will of the people, and so I'm cautiously optimistic.
Hey, Jack, what district are you in? We've been playing this game all day.
So I'm in the new 9th. I'm in the new 9th congressional district, and my good friend and colleague Brent Taylor has already announced his candidacy. And
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that. It's mixed emotions, because Senator Taylor is an outstanding. He's done so much to help Memphis and been a proponent of making Memphis matter.
Yeah, it's why I know him, because of his efforts.
He has been such a champion for Memphis, and we love Memphis, and we want we've got the crime rate down, the Memphis Safe Task Force. So I'm sad to see that we might lose Brent in the state Senate, because he's such a great member, but I'm also very excited at the prospect of him being my congressman. If these maps stand, he will be a candidate. I'm very confident in his ability to get elected. He has my full and complete endorsement, along with Senator Marsha Blackburn and Senator Bill Haggerty.
Yeah.
And so he is in that new 9th district, and I'll be doing everything I can to see that he's elected to Congress.
I have spoken on background to several congressmen, and I don't know that there's been a lot of, well, let me put it this way. I think they're just cautiously optimistic, but they also recognize that there's going to be a little hard work, because, the necessity will be for some of them that they have to get into areas of the state of Tennessee that they've maybe not as familiar as other areas. Have you had an opportunity to speak to them since? I know at least speaking generally to the body, it was kind of a hands-off approach, because you just want that degree of separation between yourself and the Congress people that will be affected. But have you had an opportunity to speak to any of those folks?
I've spoken to a handful of our members of the delegation. You're right. During this process and leading up to this special session, and while the special session was going on, I did not. I tried to avoid those conversations. Not that I don't care what they think. I do. But we had a job to do. And our job was not to protect any incumbent member of Congress. Our job was to make sure we had 9 congressional districts that would elect 9 people to best represent our conservative values. I think we have many of those in our current delegation, and I suspect that most, if not all of those, are going to remain in Congress, and that's a good thing. Since the maps became public, I've spoken with a couple of them, and yeah, I think there are a couple of them who have some concerns about the changes that were made to their district, but I say the same thing. It's an opportunity for you to go out and make some new friends and campaign and get to know some new
There's
areas
a lot of
of the
pancake
state.
breakfasts out there.
A lot of pancake breakfast, a lot of fish fries, a lot of barbecues and those kind of things. And so, but we did our job, and now those members of Congress, they may have some new areas that they need to go build some relationships in, but I'm confident they can do so.
As far as in the process, and Ryan, I know I've got to get to it, and I will, I promise this will be my last question, but as far as the process goes, help me understand, did y'all get into like R+8, R+10, R+12? I mean, are these conversations that happened during the process, and how did we land in terms of those R majorities to make sure that, like you say, we have 9 Republicans that represent the values of the state of Tennessee.
Absolutely, and I feel very good about all 9 districts. I feel very good about them. It's up to the people of Tennessee.
There's a lot of hard work to
a
go.
lot of hard work to do and a lot of campaigning to do, but I feel very confident that this will equip the voters of Tennessee to elect 9 good, strong, solid conservatives who can go to Washington and represent our values. But again, that's ultimately up to the people of Tennessee. We can draw the map. We can't draw the final outcome, but I feel really good about the prospect of those districts being highly winnable by good candidates who will run as good, solid conservatives.
All right, so I'm assuming based on your endorsement of Senator Brent Taylor, you're not throwing your hat in the ring for congressman.
I am absolutely not going to
See, I'm
Congress.
smarter than the average bear. I kind of put those two things together.
Yeah, I'm grateful for those who are willing to go up there and serve. I have no interest in going to Congress whatsoever. I love state government, and I would like to continue to serve in state government if I can.
Jack, thank you for spending some time with us. I know that the airport kind of waylaid you just a little bit, and you're spending time away from family, and I do appreciate you doing so. Tell the family I said hello.
I will. I've got my youngest son is graduating from college on Saturday. So,
wow.
So yeah, my other 2 have graduated from University of Tennessee Knoxville. I got an MTSU graduate on Saturday, and so yeah, we're going to have some great family time this weekend. My son Walker, congratulations to my son Walker.
Well, it's not a degree from the University System of Georgia, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Jack, thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
Senator Jack Johnson, 34 after the hour. News is late. I apologize, Ken Weaver. It's news time on Super Talk 99.7 W10.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, officially a new congressional map splitting Memphis into 3 districts, which Republicans hope gives them a 9th majority to help the GOP retain control of the U.S. House. The state NAACP chapter's already filed a lawsuit to try to stop it. Channel 4 says Speaker Cameron Sexton is looking into sanctioning some of the members for outbursts in the Capitol, including Justin Pearson, who lashed out at a state trooper arresting Pearson's brother for an outburst in the gallery.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You stupid mother.
Now, Nashville Democrat Justin Jones lit a picture of a Confederate flag on fire inside the state capitol. There were other outbursts during the Senate debate. Memphis Republican State Senator Brent Taylor's announced he's running for the new 9th Congressional District. He has the backing of U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty and at least $1 million of his personal funds for his campaign. Money News, Chuck Severson.
As gas prices continue to tick up across the country, Wall Street investors appear to be pulling back with a day of losses as they wait and see how negotiation efforts between the U.S. and Iran pan out. The Dow closed 313 points down, with the Nasdaq down 33 points. The S&P 500, which saw several stocks including Apple, Intel, and Alphabet trading at record high prices earlier in the day, closed 28 points lower. Oil giant Shell beat earnings expectations, reporting $6.9 billion, raising dividends by 5%. But with the war in Iran appearing to intensify, the company's chief confirmed they will not move any ships through the Strait of Hormuz until full conviction that it's safe to do so. The average long-term mortgage price in the U.S. also on the rise this week, up to 6.37% from 6.3%, the result of a volatile bond market and surging oil prices from the Iran war.
That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes, B&A blocking the right 2 lanes, 40 eastbound past Briley Parkway. Antioch, Murfreesboro Pike just east of Old Hickory Boulevard. Murfreesboro Pike at Hobson Pike. Murfreesboro Pike at Hamilton Church Road. Over by the fairgrounds, Nolensville Pike at Craighead Street. Spence Lane at Murfreesboro Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Craft Body Scan. Folks, if you've not heard me talking about this, you need to know about it because this could, it could literally save your life. That is the fact of the matter. And Craft Body Scan can tell you stories. Obviously, these are confidential stories, but they can tell you stories about individuals that come in and they don't have any symptoms, but they discover something that's happening early on in their body. And, these are very serious things that can get more serious as time goes on before symptoms present themselves. These are CT scans. They're non-invasive. They take about 8 minutes or so. And you keep your clothes on and everything. You just go into there's a ring around you. You go into that. The scan happens. And then heart and lung scans right now for you and a loved one are only $99. That's an incredible special, but you have to use my promo code MATT50. MATT50 for that $99 special. That's pretty cool, right? They also do full body scans and other items. Just find out more by going to togetherwescan.com. That's the website, togetherwescan.com, or 615-436-1000, 436-1000. Do this for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your loved one. It's fast. It's easy. It gives you complete peace of mind. It's Craft Body Scan. It was once said, do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you can. The first time I heard, I don't know who originally said that, but the first time I heard it, it was Aaron Stokes. Aaron Stokes has tried to do that, did try to do that for over a quarter century. Friends, at Eurofix, they repair European vehicles at below dealer pricing, and it sets them apart not just on price, but the deep commitment to quality that keeps you off the tow truck. They have clean, welcoming shops, a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection to share what's going on, 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repair work performed, rental cars available with every appointment. 5 separate locations: Nashville, Franklin, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and Mount Juliet. 844-EUROFIX, 844-EUROFIX, or online at myEurofix.com. I've got bad news for Jackson. I've got bad news for Jackson. I've got bad news for Jackson. The trophy's coming home.
I call election interference.
Do you now?
Yes.
You want to try to go to the legislative process and redraw some district lines?
This gerrymandering will not stand.
Uh-huh. The folks loved my drone story. The drone story that you skipped over. You skipped it. You didn't read the quote. That was the problem.
Yeah, I didn't. I read
the quote was pretty funny.
Mike Starks.
Also,
hold on just a second. We'll go ahead.
Also, the poll did not end on YouTube until 6:40.
You're so, y'all, let me just pull back the curtain here. Jackson is so ridiculously competitive. You're the most competitive human I think I've ever met. And even when he knows that it doesn't matter, he still wants to win.
Even when I know it's rigged, and it's been rigged by Chris Hand and Matt Murphy.
It has not been rigged. I did the story. I won 2 times.
That some would say is a crisscross.
Inside hand job. Inside hand job.
It's just, you know, we will go through the legal process, and I believe the court of Ninkampoops will side in my favor.
I encourage you to file the proper paperwork and file where you need to file. Now, real quick before we get to, I think we've got Representative Mike Sparks on the line. Paul, you're there as well. Hang in there, both of you. We need to put up the poll. Ryan, if you don't mind, we were doing Movie Mayhem today and not Friday because Jackson is out tomorrow and Monday, so we'll review on Tuesday. But we're doing it a little bit differently. This was a great idea by Jackson. So we will now be watching the same movie.
Clip that.
It can be, yeah, I know, rare. I don't think I've ever said it. We will be watching the same film. Typically, what we're going to try to do is angle toward films that neither of us have seen. But if it's one of those, like in this instance, I've seen Pulp Fiction, but I haven't seen it in forever.
I've seen the other guys, but I haven't seen it in forever.
Right. So we're going to, and because we had previously mentioned those films, we're going to keep those. So the poll is between which movie should Jackson and Matt watch? Pulp Fiction, The Other Guys, and Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep was Ken Weaver's suggestion. Something about Jack Kennedy and Elvis Presley in an old folks home.
John F. Kennedy.
Or John F. Kennedy. What did I say? Jack
Kennedy.
That's the same thing.
Can you give me the list one more time?
Bubba Hotep. And that's H-O-T-E-P, I guess. Pulp Fiction and The Other Guys.
I think Hotep's the favorite to win.
I think so probably too. And I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? So we're probably going to be watching that, but who knows what the crazies on the YouTube chat are going to do. We'll figure out what we're watching. Just set that until like show's end or whatever. I don't know how it goes over there. But,
you just set it and then you end it whenever you're done.
Oh, well, there you go. Mike Sparks is next up. Hello, Representative. A crazy week, huh?
Man, it has been. No, it was really rough. I guess you probably heard they busted a bunch of paid protesters out of Memphis. And it was the roughest day I've ever seen in politics, that's for sure.
So, I mean, how long have you been a representative, Mike?
Well, I've been going on 16 years. And
that's what I thought.
I've never seen anything this nasty, man. If I didn't have about 8 troopers, I just walked on out got towards Quarter Hole outside, and I was just going to go out there by myself. And I knew there's a lot of people out there, and luckily about 8 troopers ran up. I mean, these people were rough, man. I mean, I won't say I was nervous, I'll be honest with you. If they weren't there, I'd probably be in the hospital right now, or I'd gotten, man, it was rough, man. I mean, in my face, and somebody had a sheet, like a pillowcase, a white pillowcase. They're always playing the race card. It's part of that Saul Alinsky rules for radicals tactics are what they're doing.
Well, it's sad. I mean, I get, and I just said this to Jack Johnson moments ago. You might have heard me say it, Mike. I get why the Democrats are upset. They're in the super minority, and they don't like what's happening. And, but there's being upset, and there's being frustrated, and there's disrupting the process, and there's threatening representatives like yourself. And I think that's beyond the pale what happened today.
And I even got called the N-word. I ain't never got called the N-word.
What?
Kind of hurt my feelings. Yeah, hurt my feelings.
Oh man, that's no good.
I mean, it was. Then Justin Jones lit a flag on fire, and Justin Pearson cussing a trooper. I guess his brother got arrested. Probably rightly so.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just never seen it. But here's what I wish the media would point out. Phil Williams investigation's never going to tell this story. 2002, Democrats drew the lines. They were in control. They drew Shelby County into 3 distinct districts.
Yes.
And I've been sharing on Facebook under Michael Sparks. I just wish the media, y'all cover the truth. The media, they spin this stuff. I wish they'd show the nasty. I mean, I've never seen people this nasty in all my life. I mean, these were thugs. I'll tell you on the radio. Thugs bust in from Memphis. Some of the nastiest people. And if you've seen that Senator Oliver stand on her desk, you see that picture?
I did.
Man, it's gross. I mean, it's nasty. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Our founding fathers and forefathers, whether they fought a lot, over issues is fine. I like to debate. I like to hear the folks' views, but these kind of tactics, man, they're a threat to our republic. But I appreciate you covering the truth, and you covered something the other day that I really appreciate. Oh, it was Steve Cohen eating the fried chicken. And here's another thing. Our party gets beat up on messaging. We get beat up on messaging. They're calling racism, and they got a Jewish guy representing them. What's the odds of that? 0.03. 0.03. And somebody's going to get mad because I'm saying this, but that's the truth. You go get mad, just look at the truth. You know, Steve Cohen eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, I guess making a mockery or something. It's kind of time for that guy to go anyways. But I'm glad with what we've done. I just I hate it for our republic, and I hate it for the intimidation tactics that they try to use. But shout out to our Highway Patrol, Homeland Security for being up there. If they wouldn't have been up there, I don't know what would have happened. Some people probably would have got hurt, and the Capitol lit on fire like Justin Jones trying to light a fire. I just wish one of the troopers would have grabbed a fire extinguisher and just blew it out, blew him out too. But thank you, Matt, for all you do and keeping up the good work on telling the truth, okay?
Mike, thank you so much for everything that you do as well. There's Representative Mike Sparks joining us for a few moments, talking about his experience in the halls of the State House during the special session. He's right. Decorum was out the window. Yes, people were bussed in. Yes, they were encouraged to act out. Sadly, they were encouraged by sitting representatives like Justin Pearson, like Justin Jones. It should be noted, Justin Jones did not burn number one, it is not permissible to burn anything inside of the state capitol. Number two, he did not burn an actual flag. Number three, he didn't certainly burn the American flag. He burned a replica of what was the Confederate battle flag, and he did so in the lobby area outside of the House of Representatives. There's video up on it. I put it up on my Twitter feed at Matt Murphy Show, at Matt Murphy Show. You can see it there on the X machine. He had a trooper, two of them, I think, standing right beside him when he did it. The troopers did their best not to make martyrs out of these people. They did it with Pearson, and they did it with Jones. Now, whether or not that means that charges are forthcoming, I don't know. I would love to see them both charged. I think Justin Pearson should be charged with interfering an officer in his line of duty, at very least assaulting an officer at worst. Jones should be charged with arson. I mean, surely there is some charge against lighting something on fire inside of the State House.
Disorderly.
I mean, yeah, disorderly conduct at very least. That remains to be seen, but I don't necessarily think, and I understand a lot of you are like, they should have been arrested then and there. You're doing what they want you to do. That is their goal. Their goal was to be arrested. Justin Jones wanted to be arrested when he lit that fire. Pearson seemed to want to get arrested by the highway patrolman. Did not happen. Real quick, let's get to Paul. Paul, thank you for your patience. I do appreciate the length of time that you've held. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, I just had a quick question. I've been listening off and on all day, and I hear how the districts are +8 and +20, and I wondered, how is that figured, and what does that actually mean?
So it just breaks out into Republican or Democrat. In other words, like if I'll give you an example. The district that was District 9 in Memphis, it was called a D+23, meaning that Democrat to Republican, there were 23% more Democrats in the district than Republicans.
Okay, so it's a percentage measurement.
Yeah, it's a percentage measurement.
Okay, that's what I was confused about because I kept hearing it all day. And
Yes.
I've never heard anybody explain it.
And I should have. Thank you for. I'm glad you called because I should be more. I should be more clear on that. So now, according to those that I'm talking with, they don't believe that we have any district that's not at least 8% more Republicans than Democrats. That's why they are confident that they're going to get 9 Republicans out of these congressional districts. And they're confident. I don't share their confidence necessarily. I think that there might be 1 or 2 that are vulnerable, Paul.
Well, I hope not. I'd like to see what we did work, to help our state and help the president, and especially all the goofiness that's going on. And they ought to go get those Justins in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and just arrest them and take them in when nobody's watching, and not give them the satisfaction of having, making martyrs out of them.
Paul, thank you for the call. I don't want to make martyrs out of these folks. I appreciate you holding on, and it's a great question. So, and I should be more clear on that. Yes, when you say, R plus 20, R plus 8, whatever, those are percentages of Republicans versus Democrats in any given congressional district. 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So how do you feel about your body in spring leading into the summer months? I mean, you might have a vacation coming up or, some event where you'll be on a boat and you'll have the swimming trunks on or the bathing suit on or whatever it might be. You want to look your best, right? If you don't look your best and you don't know why, if you're frustrated with not losing the inches where you've wanted to lose the inches, then it's time to get to Contours. Contours can help y'all. I've done this and it works. I know it works because I witnessed it with my own eyes. I went in and they give you a measurement around your midsection before you go under the red light technology. And the red light technology is incredible. It's ultra slim contouring technology, and it guarantees that you'll lose over 2 inches on your midsection. First treatment of that first treatment is free. It's as simple as that. It's not invasive, doesn't hurt. The results are instantaneous. You lose the inches. They also do facials, and that's pretty cool, too. They're revitalizing, and the red light therapy tightens your skin and restores the natural glow of you and your body. Remember, Contours is for both the guys and the gals, so you know what? You and your loved one could go together and lose those inches before you go on that trip. Lose those inches before you go on that boat. Lose those inches before the summer gets here. It's all about that. ContoursLLC.com. Tell them I sent you $99 for that Belly Buster special. That's great. $99. ContoursLLC.com. 615-236-9960. 236-9960. What do you have to lose but inches? All right, just enough time to remind you we're at Dickens Turf and Landscape tomorrow in Murfreesboro. Come on out and see us between 3 and 7 o'clock in Murfreesboro, where I will receive the Ninkampoops trophy directly from hand. Don't shake your...
It was stolen.
Stolen valor. So declared by young Jackson Williams.
And who knows, I might be next Monday's Ninkampoop in the news.
You know, well, that's true. You're going down to the beach. You have to watch Pulp Fiction by Tuesday.
You do too.
I do too. We're watching Pulp Fiction. That's our movie. It beat out Bubba Hotep. Well, how did Human Centipede get in there, Ryan?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I am. I'm pretty sure. That's going to wrap it up for us, for Ryan, for Jackson Williams, for Ken Weaver. Thank you for being here. Until tomorrow, friends, have a wonderful evening. Hug your loved ones. So long.